The following program contains adult language and juvenile conversations. Listener discretion is advised.
Congratulations to my dear friend and somebody who I admire greatly. The most evil man on the internet, Reverend Scott, is a dad. And I can't wait for you to be back in the chat, my friend, when you are up all night with an adorable yet crying Mila Michelle on your lap, watching us get into trouble. I will talk to you soon. Bye.
What? I will talk to you soon. That's how you finish?
Oh, sorry. You're welcome to the radio.
You're not on the phone with him.
No. I got distracted because Michael Ravenshadow.
It's always someone else's fault.
I don't want to interrupt you. Reverend Scott, pick up.
Don't fuck with me, Aries, tonight. I'm telling you. You will regret it. I will regret it, but don't fuck with me.
Welcome, episode 307 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture, navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and we make phone calls in the intro of the show.
Yeah. I forgot.
I love you. I'll talk to you later.
I do love you. I'll talk to you.
I want to be inside
Listen,
you.
no one on this. I'm making a public service announcement. Just because Monster Zero's here, no one on this side of the table can ever make fun of me because you still have 360 movies or so to catch up on and you didn't see. And if you make fun of me, you're so fucking old, you might just keel over and die. So take it easy on that side. Just because
Wow.
MZ's there doesn't mean that you think you two amateurs
You're
are
coming
going
off-
to have to be.
Coming on
Well,
fire.
yeah, this is going to be
Yeah.
a nugget show.
Hey, the only thing Michael Ravenshadow ever did was be my tag team partner. And then
That's it?
when the ratings went down, I
Listen,
got loose again.
don't be outrageous because you know how.
Hold on. You just said one of your 4 catchphrases, so I'm just checking that out.
I have way more than 4 catchphrases
Wow.
that other people use all the time.
All guns blazing.
I know.
Right.
Reverend Scott was in the chat, by the way.
Good.
And he laughed at you.
Good. Reverend
I
Scott,
just called.
you can.
say-
Reverend Scott can. Grandpa and Ichabod here can't.
Uh-oh. If you want to fight, I can go get my boxing gloves. And
I want to. Oh, I want to see
yeah.
that.
Yeah, well, all I have to do is wait for you to come back up and be winded again.
Oh, yeah. Really?
How you
He's
gonna
a better. I think he's a better shape than most people.
How
here.
you gonna box me and move that walker around? Just asking.
What? There's going to be this show. Okay.
Wow.
Listen,
So everything better be fixed at your house then.
Oh shit! Aries is limbering up.
yeah.
Oh,
We're
man.
getting ready. Here
That
we
fucking
go.
toolbox is getting limp all of a sudden. That toolbox is going to have a headache.
I appreciate what Aries does, but I don't. I'm not just his friend because of that.
No.
You want?
Your friend, so you can make fun of him.
Yeah. I can. I wouldn't be able to do the things that Aries do, but I could do things like set up my DVD player.
Listen, I hung the fucking banner.
It fell down.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't. I left.
No, it fell down before I got there, then after you left.
I fixed it.
And it fell
You
down
did fix
again.
it. There's a
You
good
didn't
picture
fix it
of
well.
Well,
It's
I
tough
fixed
to be fair. It's tough. It's, what are you gonna
Yeah.
hang that up with for?
Hi, you're getting a message.
Is it
You
Reverend
want to shut
Scott?
that off?
No, put him on air.
I muted Mars's phone. Reverend Scott is in the chat room, Mars, and he says, "I'm literally at the hospital right now with my new baby sleeping nearby." Congratulations, Reverend Scott. That's,
There you go.
That's amazing. And thankfully, she did not get her good looks from you.
He's a good-looking guy.
Well, all right. He is a good-looking guy, but
You really can't tell though. They're still like forming.
still forming.
Yeah.
It was like a slab of clay.
Yeah, it's still like
Are you trying to say his baby's ugly?
No, I'm
Wow.
No, I'm saying, but then there's a
Well,
lot
to be
of,
fair, he hasn't seen a picture, I don't think.
Yeah, I haven't seen a picture. I mean, I've seen babies before.
You have?
Yeah.
You changed your diapers?
Yeah, I have. I did.
Mars's doesn't count.
No,
You-
one time.
You rented with the option to buy, right?
Yeah, right. I wasn't in the delivery room, but I rented with the option to buy.
All right, real quick before we go off too much, like a water wiggle, I want to talk about what we're doing tonight. So we're reviewing a film called Cold Hell. It is a Shudder exclusive Austrian action horror neo noir giallo mashup. We'll talk some more about that in the second hour. So in about 35 minutes from now or so, we'll be talking about that flick, and then. It sort of came up last week. Humble Eddie had mentioned something about. Was it Humble Eddie?
No, it was
First time, Mike.
Cecil.
Cease. Ooh, man, I feel like an asshole now.
Oh, way to go.
I'll look and see who sent us feedback last week. And yeah, we had.
No, wait a minute. It might have been Humble Eddie,
I think it was Humble Eddie.
but I think it was Cecil did it in the chat then.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's
But I
it.
think
So,
Paps said something. He led off with something, right?
oh, it's Pabst.
yeah.
Okay. So
Because Paps talked about his girlfriend.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Raven Shadow, good job.
See,
You
yeah.
got a good memory on you.
See, there you go.
So it was Paps. So Paps had called in last week with some feedback and said that he was listening to the show and his girlfriend was listening
Surprised
as well.
at what Raven Shadow sounded like.
Yeah, and so she had asked what we look like because I guess I don't know. Has his girlfriend met anyone on the show? I don't know.
I don't think he sounds short.
Yeah, but yeah, it came up with when she saw what I looked like, she thought I sounded like a short,
Right.
fat Italian bald guy.
Yeah, Fast Tony.
That's Tony.
I think that you sound like I forget the actor's name. Like I think like I would picture not necessarily like fat, somebody with a little bit of physical earnest, but like
Danny DeVito.
no. No. Like not like you sound like you could like be tough. Like you sound like you have like the not like the young the guy who played Big Pussy when he was young and wasn't so fat. Like you sound like just a big like kind of like cuz he used to be the when you couldn't get Danny Aiello, you'd get that guy to stand behind the boss. But yeah, I think you sound like I could see that. I think Aries looks exactly like he sounds mostly.
So the idea was, and Paps had brought this up, that it would be fun to cast the Trick or Treat Radio movie, I guess. So if, because a lot of folks don't know what we look like, people who, may listen to the podcast and don't see the live show, or, significant others that may hear the show here and there. So, some of the people who listen to the live show on Wednesday nights obviously know what we look like, but you can still cast us if we were in a film. So that's basically, it's not going to take up a whole segment. It's just if people want to have fun with it and pick the Trick or Treat Radio cast. If you were to cast fantasy cast, who would play us in a movie based on our voices?
See
I
who
guess.
people think is full of hate enough to be me.
I have my cast.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later then.
I'm sure this will be very complimentary to everybody.
I honestly haven't even given it any
You'll be very
thought.
surprised on who I chose for you.
Yeah. I'll be very surprised who you chose for Aries because I don't think anyone can. I think Aries looks exactly like you think he would.
Be very surprised.
Well, we do talk about Aries' beard, so
Yeah.
it's probably, and we do say he's Rick Rubin's stunt double. So
He's in much better shape than Rick Rubin. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's much of a compliment, but
He's very svelte.
yeah.
who, Rick Rubin or Aries?
No, Aries. Aries,
I
yeah.
think that he looks better than Rick Rubin for sure. That wasn't a shot at you, Rick. Shot at Rick Rubin. Sorry, I didn't know that you were like your job
no,
was to actually defend him.
Did I say anything?
You gave me a dirty look.
That's
be
just my look when I look at you.
It's going to be a good show.
Well, we are missing someone. We're missing MZ.
I thought you were gonna say Tiny.
What?
I thought you were gonna say Tiny.
We've been missing him for about 2 years.
Yeah, well, we can dream.
I'm Tyler White.
Yeah, I don't want him
Dream that he's never come back. Is that?
I don't want either of them to come back. Actually, honestly, I'd be just as happy.
So that's what's up for tonight. So if you guys are listening live and you still, have some time to get some feedback in, you can go ahead and do the Dreamcast the Trick or Treat Radio movie. Who pick actors to play us, and you can choose the hosts. You can choose regular guests. You can choose any of the listeners that call on their feedback. Whatever you want. Just kind of a fun little question. And then also, if you guys ever want to leave feedback, you can always talk about movies that we've discussed on the show, whether it was the last few weeks or a couple years ago. I know some people are going through the archives and listening to older episodes. So if you heard us talk about Contracted, let's say, I think it was episode 78, something like that, and you want to talk about that, feel free. You can always, it's all fair game. So don't feel you have to be limited to the topic of the week. You can talk about whatever you want. Or if you got a new movie that you just saw and you love, you can basically call in and talk about it, whatever you want. So we'll throw that out there, and hopefully we hear from some more people. We got a few voicemails already, but we got some room for some more. So if you guys haven't got them in, feel free. All right, so I guess we'll introduce everyone, Raven Shadow, because I know you were really sad about not getting an introduction last week.
Yeah, really. It was people concerned.
Who? You.
Nah, my fan.
Who's your fan?
I'm not going to out anybody.
Because there is no fan.
How do you know?
Because you're not outing them.
It's his ceiling fan.
No.
I think Ollie's your fan.
He is.
Mm.
He's my bud.
It's not a ceiling fan, Aries. Who would have installed a ceiling fan for him?
My dad did.
There-
It was in the
there
house
is.
when he bought it.
Yeah, all right.
Both true.
True, yeah. All right, well, I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio, the Deadites. There's kind of no Grand Guignol network, guys. That was something I wanted to do, and it never really came to fruition. So,
Well, it did. It just
well,
it's on
I
a
mean,
break.
no, I just didn't really have the time and effort to put into building a website and everything for it, So it still may one day, but as of right now, there's a few shows being produced under the umbrella of Castle Wolfenstein, but they're really kind of disparate. There's not really much in common. Obviously on the Five Hossman, we talk about wrestling, which, we do mention on here. So I guess that's probably the closest one. But there's the Outside Corner Fantasy Baseball podcast, which is, there's a lot of shenanigans and tomfoolery on that. So I guess in a way it's similar, but most people that listen to this show probably aren't going to listen to a show about fantasy baseball, even though it's ridiculous and not, what you think it might be. And then we also have, obviously, the other show that I produce nowadays is Throwdown Thursday with Patsy the Angry Nerd. And those guys are, doing their thing, and they just had their 100th episode. So it's kind of, there's not a whole lot of synergy between the shows right now. So
Well, to be fair, and this isn't a cut on them, there's not much. Throwdown Thursday doesn't have much to do with Throwdown Thursday last week, like with the way their format is.
Mhm.
That's by choice, so it's not. But I mean, this week we're going to talk about Freddy Krueger, and this week we're going to talk about Lilo and Stitch. So they definitely are, bringing the diversity even within themselves.
Mm-hmm. So, where's I going with that? Yeah. So, I was giving my intro. That's what I was doing. And so Five Hossman Wrestling Podcast. We just released episode number 6. Me, Mars, El Goro, Jakey Poo, and Coop. The 5 of us talked for 4.5 hours about New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's it. We talked about the best of the Super Juniors. We gave you a rundown. If you didn't have the time to watch all 14 days of the best of the Super Juniors, we got you covered. We'll run down all the participants, how many points they got, who they beat, everything like that. So if you're interested in that and didn't have time to watch it, it's a good little sort of snapshot of what happened. And then we dive deep into Dominion, which was the big New Japan Pro Wrestling event that just occurred on June 9th, which was an amazing show. And we won't talk about outcomes just in case.
No.
Hopefully everyone has seen it. If you haven't seen it, it's probably been spoiled because it's everywhere. But the main event between Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega was one for the record books, one of the best matches ever, if not the best.
I think it's the best match I've ever seen.
It's ridiculous. So you guys should definitely check that out. Even if you're not huge fans of wrestling, seek out that match. It was incredible.
Yeah,
So-
and they know it's neat. They did it without almost any traditional wrestling trappings, right?
Yep.
They had their little Kenny Omega's little internet blog and stuff like that. But at the end of that show, they showed up. They made the challenge, and then they showed up for the match.
Yep.
There wasn't a lot of
There's already
Yeah.
enough history there that
Right.
you don't have to do anything with it. And they don't even. It's not like a blood feud. It's not like
No.
they're going at each other's throats and someone stole someone's girlfriend. This is
Yeah.
a real fucking build.
You could tell they don't like you could tell they don't like each other. Maybe they don't like each other in real life. But like there's like a palatable dislike there, but it's not like it's almost like if one of them did something underhanded, it would negate that he was better than the other one,
Right.
Because that's the other cool thing about it. They're not traditional baby faces, either one. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. So I would definitely recommend checking that stuff out. And we also have the Immortal Gunslinger, singer and lyricist for the Deadites, and my co-host on the Five Horsemen, Dynamo Mars.
Hi.
Did you say it? Lie.
Hello.
We are without Monster Zero this week. He is stalking Stephen King, apparently.
Man, that sucks for Stephen
Yeah,
King.
I'm kind of concerned. He's outside the house a lot.
Yeah, he's up in Bangor, Maine, posting photos outside Stephen King's house. It's a little freaky, but
Really? Is he outside his house?
yes.
Oh, God.
What's amazing is that I want like him to yell through those fences. I've never read one of your books. I've never read any books.
Evil Corny says, Fast Eddie has a quick memory, Wolfie. That was 10 minutes ago. That's for you, Raven Shadow.
Nice.
Humble Eddie says, the one at Wrestle Kingdom 11 blew my mind. The Dominion that followed was great, but I didn't think their impact was as hard as their previous match. I can't wait to watch this
It's
one.
funny you say that because that Dominion match, I loved much more. So like that's cool how subjective even
Yeah.
within themselves are.
And the great thing about it is, I think if you're able to do so, I would recommend watching all four in a row. Like not back to back to back, but watch them in succession. So if there's a lot of payoff in this last
Right.
match, the fourth one that they had, where it references, it rewards you for having watched the others.
And for paying attention too. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like it was just good. I think it's funny that my top 10, 90% of it is that fraction right? Was Monster Zero when I need it? Most of it is four guys fighting each other. Because there's the Steamboat Flair trilogy.
Oh, you're
from,
talking about your
yeah,
top 10?
My top 10 from 1989.
Yeah.
And then there's these four.
So the
matches.
four matches between Omega and Okada.
Yeah.
And then you have
The
Flair and
Steamboat
Steamboat.
Flair.
So yeah, so really there's four guys that take up most of your top 10.
Right,
then,
and
is what
fighting
you're
each
saying.
other too. Like it's
Yeah.
not like this anybody like there's and then there's Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, which is my only WWF match in my top 40.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that surprising, but yeah. So definitely check out Okada and Omega. And like I said, MZ is missing this week. Missing in action. He will not be on the show. He told you guys last week that he wasn't going to be on, but he'll be back next week. He'll probably be tired.
I'm so tired.
He has a night. He like really like has a very long vacation. I'm very jealous. He has
Yeah, he's
he
like
has 8 or
over a
9
week, I
days
think.
or
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, like he doesn't go back to work till a week from
he's
yesterday.
been at that place for a while, so I think he has a pretty good amount of vacation
And he
days.
wins awards, and he's also the type of guy that probably like not through being thrifty, like probably doesn't want to overstep his boundaries. So he
Yeah.
probably has a lot of mass.
Yeah,
and
he
stuff.
doesn't like taking days off. I know that. So he probably accrues a ton. Yeah, that's why he's so tired. Never takes no days off.
No breaks.
I'm anxious for him to come back and work on that movie though, because I feel like his like
We got to keep at him because he's not going to work on it if we
well,
don't.
you just feel like I just don't like he'll just feel good, and I think he deserves to feel that way. I think everybody deserves to feel that way once, even if he can't make it, even if he can go on his bookshelf like and pull out a completed script, you know?
Yeah.
You want to help him feel good?
Yeah.
That's very nice of you.
What, are you jealous, Aries?
I'd help you write a movie too.
Aries, you want an NKHJ?
Maybe.
Mars will help you out.
Yeah.
Wait, you implying that I wouldn't help you? I'm just confused at your line of questioning.
Humble Eddie asks, what was the third match in between this recent one and their rematch at Dominion? It was during the 2017 G1 Climax tournament.
Right.
I don't have the date in front of me, but the interesting thing about that is in the G1 there's a 30-minute time limit.
Right.
So as you'd expect in the Dominion 2017 match, they went 60-minute draw. so it ended in a draw, and so they had to basically fit a match in within 30 minutes. So it definitely added a nice wrinkle and a different element to their previous matchups. And there's a lot of callbacks in this most recent one to a lot of things that happened.
Yeah, this is also the first match, and I don't think it's because of length. Like, this is the first match where they didn't act like they were shot out of a cannon. Like,
Right.
you know,
Well,
like,
because there's no time limit. This
Right.
this most recent match at Dominion 2018 was best 2 out of 3 falls, no time limit.
yeah, their conditioning though, I feel like I feel if any two guys
it's
could,
insane. Yeah.
like I feel like they could have wrestled a sprint for how long was it set? 68 minutes, 70 minutes, or something like that.
Well, we won't say just in case people, because like if people are watching the time tick down on the match, I don't want them to know when the ending is going to happen. I guess if they haven't seen it, but it does go pretty long, and yeah, I mean I could maybe at this point maybe go like 15-20 minute match, but these guys are going over 60 minutes and like killing themselves,
I'm
and
not
it's unbelievable.
I'm not sure how long I could go. Like, it's
Well, I
weird.
just say that now.
Yeah.
I probably like a couple months ago probably wouldn't have been able to do 5 or 10 minutes, but
I shouldn't even be able to do 2 minutes, but I can. I don't know. Like I something about when the
When the-
red light goes. Like I
when
mean,
the
I
lights
should.
are on.
Yeah, I shouldn't be able to do a 90-minute Deadite show, but
Well, it's yeah.
you know, like
That's true. I guess when the adrenaline gets going, it's a little different. But
I defy anybody to see me huffing and puffing at a Deadite show. Like I don't think that those things like exist.
you're
I don't-
just vomiting and pissing.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was drinking, but now, are you trying to imply I do look tired at Deadite shows? It's not true.
Yes.
No,
You're lying.
Oh,
You're not.
okay.
You're wrong.
Yeah, halfway through the show, you're telling a story,
yeah.
and you
Yeah.
openly admit that you need a break when you're telling a story.
Well,
Oh.
a break is different.
Maybe getting ready to have someone else tune their instrument or fix something or get
No,
into
no, no.
position.
Like
Tune? Have you seen their show?
Well, I'm trying to fucking
Ron
I don't know.
Borez has to tune his bass sometime,
yeah. Maybe someone forgot lyrics.
but the when
that happens more frequently than you think.
when I stop like for a long time, it's because we need to like.
There's banter, man.
Well, it's not even just that. There's like for a long break, there's a reason. And it's just like to kind of change the momentum. It's like we just like went breakneck, and now we're gonna slow it down or something like that. Like so. But we've got good. These last 2 shows, we haven't had any very much banter at all.
So, so no MZ. So let me go ahead and finish up the rest. We got the Triumph.
Should've just said I don't get
Riding
tired, so Aries would
stage
say-
directing.
Oh man, I get so tired. So Aries could have said, "No, you don't."
Whiskey drinking, chief of security, the warrior of Nor'easters, America's sweetheart, and Rick Rubin's stunt double, Aries, God of War.
Hello. I'm sorry I don't have a tirade to go on, so we'll just move right on to Raven Shadow.
Thank you, Harris.
We have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, lorazepam loving, former comic book reading nerd, the official smoke chamber for Castle Wolfenstein, the Pipper Promotions, the Italian rapscallion, the professional bullshitter, the cool principal, the proprietor of the sexy speakeasy, and the Parisian Bruja himself, Michael Raven Shadow.
Thank you, Johnny, very much for that.
Went give it a little extra.
Yeah, a little juice.
Little humph.
Yeah, a little hum.
Hum.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I want you to do? I want you to pick one of those titles to get pulled out of there. Yeah. Just one.
It's like Survivor.
All right,
You have to eliminate one every week.
And it doesn't have to do anything that actually applies to you, else your intro will be very short.
Hey, actually, Raven Shadow, if you were to remove one, which would it be?
The cool principal can go.
What? You? Oh, I guess in a way I could see how. Because it's not really complimentary, really, right?
Well, I mean, I think. Well, I thought it was. Now I'm having a complex. But I mean, like, I thought it was. Shit, I'm a little off. But no, I think there's other things there. So if that one had to go, that's okay too.
It's old too. It's an old.
Yeah, it was a reference. It was a nice reference. It was funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
You know. All right. Well, bye.
So that's everyone on the show. Let's see. We got some more time to kill. So one thing that just came up I guess today was the news that Comcast made a big bid for 21st Century Fox. And it's a bigger bid than Disney. So Raven Shadow, what do you think of the potential of not getting the Fox properties back at the House of the Mouse?
I mean, that's okay too. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, I think a lot of the fanboys, myself included, like finally, all the Marvel film properties could be under one roof, right? But I really don't think that even if that deal were to happen, I don't think we'd see anything in the next couple of years. I mean, they're already plotted out. Probably what is it? Phase 4 for what's after Infinity War?
I think so. I think it is Phase 4.
You know what I mean? So it's not like even if he was going to do it, bring Hugh Jackman in for a cameo in the in a movie that's already filmed. You know what I mean? Like
I believe they have a plan in place that if this happens,
Yeah.
they could do certain things.
They did some
'Cause-
crazy reshoots with this last one. I don't remember why,
I don't remember hearing about.
but something changed, and they.
I just remember hearing at the end of Civil War that they had it planned out that if the Sony thing had gone through quick enough that Spider-Man would have been in the last shot of that.
We was in the whole thing of Civil War, though.
Not Civil War. Age of Ultron. Excuse me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I
last,
heard
last, last shot of Age of
I'd
Ultron.
heard that.
but they have a different deal though, where they can like co-sharing.
Yeah,
Sony's
but they
co-sharing.
were
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were working on that and they didn't get it locked in enough time to put that shot in.
Yeah.
I still would love the cut scene that we've not seen. That I'd love it to happen. Picture like a security building, right? Like a not like an Arkham Asylum, but some kind of facility, maybe a government facility. Shadow figure is walking into it, and he's being led down a hall, by a caretaker or a guard. Goes into a room, and the caretaker says, "The boy was brought in 3 weeks ago." Shadow voice says, "Any word of the boy's parents?" Claims to have parents and an uncle, but all signs point that the boy's an orphan. The boy's playing with a small sphere in the ground, in the room. Just a little sphere, glowing sphere. What's his name? He calls himself Franklin. And his parents are coming home soon.
Yeah.
And then you see Tony Stark come out from the shadows. Response is fantastic. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Give this boy a job.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, where did you read that?
my fucking mind, dude. What the
My
fuck?
mind.
No, that's too good.
Why? It's fucking pretty fucking good,
That
right?
is too good for you.
No,
Raven Shadow. Raven
I
Shadow's
think
got good
he's-
ideas.
No, I think it's good enough for him. I do think it's good enough for you.
It would tie in how when it's a nod to the Heroes Reborn when they brought in when all the Avengers went to the Pocket Universe, the Jim Lee universe during the Onslaught battle, right? And Franklin Richards was the one that brought them back to the Marvel Universe proper.
The
Well, fuck yourself, Ares.
See, I have faith that you can write.
I can't fucking write. I got some good fucking ideas.
Right.
I
I just
know-
don't have any
I-
faith that
I
you'll
know that
do
he-
them ever.
I have a book on my shelf that
That what?
my friends haven't read.
Nobody's read it. You got to put it out.
I gotta have my partner finish his part.
The
Nothing.
my whole thing with someone else getting it is no one has shown me in this whole superhero resurgence that anybody can make a good superhero movie except Disney Marvel. So I don't.
They were making good Marvel movies before the Disney merger.
Yeah, but I think that Disney took the formula that they were using and like kept it going. Like I don't.
So it wasn't Disney; it was Marvel that was doing.
Well,
it.
yeah, but I mean, if Marvel ended up somewhere else, if this team take Disney out of the equation, but that's where they live now, right? They live at Disney. But I think no one other than Marvel has shown that they can make really good movies so far in the modern age.
Okay. X-Men First Class.
It's not that good.
I
I
really
thought it was
enjoyed that.
fine.
Yeah, it's
I-
fine.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
First
fine.
Class
but do you think it's-
was good, and
X-Men 2, I adore.
the original
X-Men
run.
2?
Yeah.
That's not, I thought that was the shitty one. What's the shitty one?
The third one. is
They're
the
all-
shitty
Oh,
one.
okay.
They're
Maybe
all
I'm
kind of
getting-
shitty as far
But
as
yeah,
I'm
but
concerned.
as far as the revamp or whatever the hell the
Brian Rapey singer.
crap, what the hell is that? The
First Class.
Kitty Pryde. Where they send them back in time. What the fuck is that?
Days of Future
Days of
Past.
Days of
Future
Future
Past,
Past.
yeah,
That
yeah.
one was very good.
Rogue for some reason sent it back in time. It was weird. Or was it Kitty?
No, it was Kitty Pryde, and then she got hurt, and Rogue took her powers and continued it on.
Yeah. Right.
This I just clicked
That
on.
movie was fucking awful.
Awful.
Yeah, that movie was like terrible.
It's better than.
Didn't we see that
Apocalypse.
together? Oh no! You know what? We went and saw
Oh,
Tuxed.
I didn't know you were pointing at me.
Yeah, we went. I didn't know it was out, and we went and saw Tux at night, and then that next day, because I figured out the X-Men movie was out, I went
The
and saw
Kevin
it.
Smith movie.
Yeah.
Tusk.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, we did it for the show.
I'm still sorry.
I'm not sorry.
I
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fine.
I didn't love it, but I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it, and I'm. Yeah. No,
That's
I'm not
it.
glad I saw it.
See, I would take that and have it be imperfect and not very good over like a gazillion-dollar catastrophe like that, like X-Men Days of Future Past movie.
I like that one. I like Days
was
of
fine.
Future Past. Yeah.
And
I mean, I feel the only really fails with those were the third ones of both of those series.
see, I just think they're all bad and don't feel like X-Men movies. Like, you can say what you want about these Marvel movies, but they all feel like the
I really feel they feel like X-Men movies.
well, each to their own.
I thought they.
I think the
locked down all
Brian
the
I think the
characters
Bryan
fairly
Singer
well.
ones are garbage. I think the best one of the series, and I don't love it, is Logan. So
What-
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah, I forgot about. How did I forget about that one?
I
That
still
one was
haven't.
very
I
good.
I still haven't seen Logan.
Really?
Yeah.
It was fun.
Oh, that's
If you like comedy, you'll like
I'm
Logan.
I'm behind on some of the I didn't see Homecoming. I didn't see
Homecoming's great.
Logan. So there's a few I haven't seen yet, but
Homecoming's fantastic.
see, I don't. I'm trying to think of one of those I don't love. I don't love Ant-Man. I like it,
It's fine.
and I don't think any of those X-Men movies are as good as Ant-Man.
well, I just clicked on a link here that says one analyst says that it's possible that Comcast and Disney could split up Fox's assets. So even if there is
That would be the best thing to happen, I think.
right, probably, yeah. But who knows? I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to continue. There's still a lot of wrinkles in this. So
I'm at a loss. What else? What else is? I feel like 20th Century Fox has another big.
Um,
I can't think of anything
What-
else. But as
what
far
the-
as the X-Men movies go, maybe this is cheating a little bit. The Deadpools.
Yeah, those are good.
Yep.
But again, what's weird about those Deadpool movies is that I went and saw the other one yesterday. I was at the theater for like 9 hours, but I think almost like if you made a Punisher movie, like the good Punisher movie, Warzone, there, like you sort of can play by a different set of rules. I think that's why Logan was so good, because they were making making more of an action movie than like kind of like a superhero movie. But all the Warner Brother ones are crap. There's one except the one. I mean, I can't speak for one I didn't see, but
Which is Wonder Woman.
which is
I'm assuming.
Man of Steel.
Oh, Man of Steel. You saw Wonder Woman and you didn't like it.
thought it was fine.
He liked it. He didn't like the end.
Yeah, the end is terrible. It was like an A+ movie with an F-.
They just announced Wonder Woman 84, which I don't know if that's
84?
what they're going to call it, but it's set in 1984, and apparently Christopher Pine is in it because they showed him in a members only jacket. So I don't know if he's Steve Trevor. Someone theorizes that it could be his son.
well, it's funny. That's what they did in the Linda Carter show.
Yeah.
That would be that'd
That's-
be grandson.
Yeah.
But what a great
I
gimmick.
guess it could be. Yeah.
World War One to
So it was,
84.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. It would be like what 80. It was
be
no, it wasn't
70
80 years. It was
years.
70 years. Yeah. So I guess that would make sense. I guess, but yeah. So I guess they're I think they put out a release date for it in the end of 2019. So
That would be great.
what?
No, they just had the fucking same dude.
If
Play.
they did-
I'm the son.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a great nod to the Linda
Right,
Carter
to
TV
the
show.
show,
Yeah.
yeah,
I hope
yeah.
they. I mean, I mean, they have all the right tools for that one. I'm still not crazy about her as an actress, but I think that
She's way better than I ever expected.
like they
her to
have.
be.
My expectations were low, but I think that they have. I don't know. They have all they got to do is stick the ending, and they got a great movie. So
Yep.
it's hard not to mess it up. But I mean, I think that. But I mean, even if somebody wants to die on the hill of the X-Men movies, like the Fox series, and keep like Lobo. I almost called it Logan and
Lobo.
That'd be awesome.
Logan
Waiting for that one.
Logan and Deadpool as like the saviors of that franchise. Like, who else has even come close to what Disney Marvel's doing? I thought Garfield, is that his name? Was
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield was
The cat.
was the best Peter Parker by a lot up to that point, but those were not very good movies.
I can't get through the second one.
And I watched it once, but I don't have any need to watch it again.
Evil Corny has some comments. He says it was. I don't know. I still don't know. Is his last name Feige? Kevin Feige, or is it Feige?
Phage, I think.
Well, anyways, he says because he was running things, that's what made Marvel Studios what it is. And he says the 2 Deadpool movies have been the best versions of the X-Men on screen. And then he says there's no continuity in any of the X-Men films.
Yeah, very little.
Yeah.
No, I think what they do, they're also big on just inserting a character's powers to drive the plot home. They think more about
convenient. Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to that was like the one reason to make Juggernaut mutant in Last Stand was for that one scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On that you had no reason for him to be a mutant, and that kind of stuff. Where I think the Marvel flicks, as they become, are more about the character or the actor playing the role.
I will say this: if Marvel was making those Deadpool movies, Colossus would look fucking awesome. But he looks shitty.
I thought he looked fine.
He looks fine for what they were doing.
He looks not very good. Like if you watch, like there was like the scene where he's giving the pep talk, like when he's like Deadpool's all depressed.
Yeah.
Like it looked like he was like dubbed. Like the it's like a fully CGI constructed, not like a good mocapper thing, and like it just doesn't. It's just didn't fair. Like when you like put that next to the Hulk, like just shit or go home. Like it's just not like
Shit or go home.
it's just not very good.
I
You know,
don't like either option. Like I want to stay, but I don't want to shit my pants. I don't know what to do.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, and we'll keep this real brief because I don't think 2 of you guys even follow this, but this week in Los Angeles, California is E3,
Yes.
and it's. Do you know what it is, Raven
It's a
Channel?
big fucking video game event,
There you go.
right? It's up there with like PAX.
It's bigger. Well, bigger in terms of reveals. This is where most companies unveil their games for the year.
Yeah.
You know, so I just wanted to see, Mars. Have you caught anything? I know I shared a few links. I wasn't sure if you've been
I
keeping up.
bookmarked a few things, but I haven't had a chance to sit down
All right.
and watch them. But I'm excited about Silent Hill. Not Resident Evil, rather. Sorry.
Yeah, Resident
Yeah,
Evil 2.
sorry.
They like basically redid it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that. The Cyberpunk 2077 is based off of the RPG.
Yep.
Was it Cyberpunk 2020? Was that what it was? Or 2022? I can't remember.
I thought it might have been. I thought I guess you could be right, but when I saw it, it didn't seem like it was wrong.
Yeah. So it's based off of the RPG, but it's made by CD Projekt Red, who did the Witcher games, which are hailed as some of the best open world games, and so they're basically doing that with a cyberpunk setting. It looks really awesome. Death Stranding is it's one we've been hearing about for a long time now. That's the one with what's his name? Daryl from Walking Dead. What's his name?
Norman
Reedus.
Yeah.
Where he stars in it, and I think that's the one. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the one that Guillermo del Toro was helping to write. And it's Kojima who did the Metal Gear games, and so it looks pretty interesting. It's a very bizarre trailer that they released, but it looks pretty cool. There's a really awesome samurai game called Ghost of Tsushima, which looked pretty brutal. Like you guys know, like the samurai movies, when you have there's a big showdown, you have 2 samurai about to go at it, and you see like the wind and the leaves blowing, and it's got some beautiful setting like that, where when you see a fight go down, it's got the typical sort of film elements.
Okay.
It looks really, really, really awesome. So looking forward to that one. And also there's a Spider-Man game.
Oh yeah.
That looks really cool.
That's the one you can play multiple versions, like the Spider-Verse, or is it?
I think that was a previous one, but
You might be getting messed up. There's a CGI, an awesome-looking CGI Spider-Verse cartoon coming out in theaters in Christmas.
Okay, maybe that. Yeah, this
It's
would be
Miles. It's the Miles Morales movie.
Miles Morales, yeah.
Spider Gwen.
Yeah, that's the movie. It's coming out in theaters. It's
This-
an animated movie.
This Spidey game he's talking about. I know he has like a white spider.
He
on
does,
his-
yes.
Okay,
That's the one. Yeah,
All right.
yep. And it looks cool. It looks kind of like what the Arkham Asylum games for Batman did for like Batman video games, which were awesome. It looks like this is doing that for Spider-Man. I haven't played all the Spider-Man games, but this one looks like it's going to be like a home run. So, and as Mars mentioned, Resident Evil 2, they're basically redoing it.
Do you know? Like, I don't. This is just not that I'm complaining. Do what you want, but this is just the cash in, right? Like, I was trying to remember if there's anything the matter with Resident Evil 2.
Well, they're just bringing it up to like current levels of
I mean,
graphics.
when
and
did that come out? What was that on the PS2 at this point? Like,
I don't think
PS1,
it's
I think.
PS1.
Oh, the
Like
one?
90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would imagine it's a graphics.
Yeah, overhaul and yeah, I'm sure it'll look it looks amazing from the trailer I saw. So
Yeah, but in that case, why didn't they do Resident Evil 1?
what they did, I think.
I didn't even know that. I probably would have grabbed that.
I'm almost certain. I'll look it up.
I
but
don't. I would be surprised because.
I don't know why you jump right to 2.
Yeah.
Let's see. Resident Evil HD remastered in 2015. I don't know if it was a complete overhaul. Yeah, I think this is 2015. Mars, you missed it.
But I didn't think that was.
Look at the graphics. It's definitely brand new.
I can't see it, but I believe you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. I didn't play it, but I remember hearing something about it. So
I had a ton of gift certificates to use from. I'm still using gift certificates from last year's birthday. So I used all my movie gift certificates the other day, and I also had a GameStop gift certificate. So I bought a video game.
what'd you buy?
I guess.
Something really old.
Well, it's for PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay. Well, I know you have a top loader and you have
Yeah.
some other stuff. So
Yeah, I wish that they had. I knew they didn't, but I had a fantasy in the time I had
When
been at
did-
GameStop. That
Did you buy it new or was it used?
it was used.
You're killing the industry, man.
Sorry.
No, it's similar for anything like that. The aftermarket for games, obviously the developer gets no fucking money off the bat. Same thing with album sales and movies, So it's
no, it's
it's
exactly the
just-
same. I literally
Comics.
Well,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
comics,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But at least most comic shops are like smaller business. Like GameStop's a pretty sizable
Yeah.
corporation.
yeah.
It's like FYE or something. But
I
I didn't know it was used because
I'm not
yeah.
busting on you.
But,
I've bought them used in the past. So, what did you buy? Well, I'm trying to think.
You could tell him.
Well, I was trying to guess. Was it the newest Arkham game?
no.
I heard that, Aries.
Yeah, that
The fuck was that?
That was my knee.
Injustice.
No. I actually didn't see the new Injustice there. I went in to get Injustice 2. I didn't see it. I only saw the new, like the Injustice 1 that has all the downloadable content in it, whatever that's called.
All right, what is it?
Pac-Man. And it's got Pac-Man and Dig Dug and Galaga.
Good.
Really staying up with the times there, Mars. All right, well, I guess we'll wrap that up because there's not much more to talk about E3 because most of these guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So,
I knew.
well, you haven't followed any of the coverage.
I knew about the fucking white spider on Spider-Man's outfit. I knew it was a fucking video game thing.
Okay, the White Spider was announced like a year ago.
Where?
He's sensitive.
It was
He's
just
big.
out. That wasn't a big reveal.
Well, I fucking still knew. Of all the things that were announced last year that I don't know, I know that one.
Anyone in the if anyone in the chat room has anything about E3 they want to talk about, feel free to throw it out there. Evil Corny says, "Nice Star Wars tee, Aries."
Yeah, it is
Why,
nice.
Thank you.
Hey, there was no I was
Yeah,
hoping
I've seen
that
it.
there
Yeah,
was
it's nice.
some like because it's coming out shortly. I was having a fantasy that there was a like a new Fire Pro like trailer or something.
Oh, well, I don't think it's a new trailer, but the new Fire Pro is coming out in July,
Right.
so it's right around the corner for PS4.
I haven't seen
So-
any.
Fire Pro World is it called? I think.
I've seen Fire Pro World when everybody else got it, but I haven't seen any new Japan content yet. So I was hoping.
Oh yeah, I don't know actually. Maybe
Yeah.
they did release something. I've been watching like the big
Yeah.
ones and the big companies.
What's the matter?
I'm fucking lost. I thought you were talking about the Fire Stick and.
No,
apparently it's
so-
wrestling.
Fire Pro Wrestling.
So
Yeah.
Fire-
That's what. I was like, oh, a new Fire Stick coming out. Ooh.
Fire Pro
It's
Wrestling
just for wrestling.
Yeah.
is one of the 3 really good. It's very different though, but it's one of the 3 like really good Japanese wrestling games. It's more set up to like.
It's
try-
totally old school
Yeah,
and
it's
2D.
It's got a weird like conceit though, like because it's almost, and they've really leaned into it with the new one. It's almost set up to try to have like a good match, not necessarily like win the match. And then the same company at some point put out what I thought was superior, but it wasn't as deep. A game called King of Colosseum, which had an All Japan license, I think, and that was awesome. And then there was the engine that we ended up having, which was like the one that became the Jack Yuka engine that had like. So
Don't bother explaining all this to me. I'm still rocking the PS3.
that's fine. I have PS3 upstairs.
All right, well, let's head to a break in just a moment. If you guys want to go ahead and support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. Head over to trickortreatradio.com. And on the right-hand side, scroll down, you're going to see a logo for Amazon. If you click on that, it brings you right to Amazon, puts in our affiliate code. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it helps keep the lights on.
That's right. So if you guys just shop on Amazon anyways, use our link. And then we also have an Amazon store. If you go to amazon.com/shop/thedeadites, you can see we have kind of a curated list there of the movies that we discuss. And if we talk about anything in depth, we typically put it on there. Like, for instance, you can go ahead and pre-order the new Fire Pro Wrestling game on our store because it's up on there. So you just need to either scroll through or just search for Fire Pro and it'll come up. So go ahead, use that. Also, you can go to trickortreatradio.com, click on store, and there you can purchase stuff from us. We have merch. We have digital content, Trick or Treat Radio Greatest Hits Volumes 1 through 3. And there's also some premium content and some other stuff. So give that a look. And also, if you want to just go ahead and donate some money, there's a PayPal link. Go to trickortreatradio.com once again, and then scroll down. You see a donate button, PayPal. And once again, a couple weeks ago, we got one donation from our boy Matchell of Omaha. So we appreciate that, dude.
I like
And-
Matchable of Omaha.
And Chromecast Josh is hanging out. Says, hey, y'all, it's been a while. What's up?
Babaleo.
By the way, Chromecast Josh, they won another fucking award for Robert E. Howard from the Robert E. Howard people. I feel like an idiot. I don't have it in front of me because you just popped in, but they got another award for their podcast, the Chromecast, which is fucking awesome. So congratulations, Josh, and the rest of the Chromecast. You guys are killing it. And Humble Eddie wants to know, how many stars did Dave Meltzer shit out for the last Okada versus Omega? Do you know, Mars? Did he announce that yet? I don't think he has because it comes out on Thursday, right?
No. It comes out. They do the show every single.
No, I know, but I thought that the Observer.
No. He does it every single day almost.
Oh, okay.
I have Uncle Dave to listen to almost every day, seemingly.
right.
And he'll usually, for like a WWF show, they'll do it right after. But I didn't remember because the big deal was that he gave that
He gave it 10
junior.
stars?
He gave the junior match 6.5. So
No, 5.5.
5.5. All right, yeah. So he might have gone to 6. I don't know. He was literally. Brian Alvarez said that the main event of Dominion was incredible. And like you always expect he's like feeding Uncle Dave to have like some sort of like profound thing, and Uncle Dave was like, "Yes, it was incredible." he didn't
Yeah.
even know what to say. Like he really is impressed, and he's like I feel like he's really like beside himself. So
I'm looking at something right here, and this was the day after, so maybe he hadn't rated it yet, but he called it the greatest match he'd ever seen.
yeah.
So he says he doubts there will ever see a better match.
That was an interesting thing because when he said when I saw the Dominion match last year, I thought it was the best match I've ever seen, but I knew I would see a better match someday. But he goes, now I don't know that I will.
He says, I believe that I saw the two greatest wrestlers in the world today both have their greatest performance. Each man's greatest individual performance on the same night in the same match, which climaxed an 18-month to 2-year story and ended the greatest championship reign in decades, and all at the same time. So many things came together.
Yeah, it was awesome. It,
So.
it was I mean, I remember thinking when I saw Taker, Shawn Michaels, the first of the two late ones they had before Shawn's retirement, that like I would never see a better wrestling match than that. But now that's I think that might be out of my top 5. It's still in my top 10, but
Yep. All right, well, let's head to a break. So, Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch Cold Hell. What do you do to prepare for this movie?
Oh, I get excited, Johnny.
Yeah?
I do a little promoting.
Oh!
you do an armbar.
Yeah, dude, I talked to a very dear friend of mine, friend of the shows. Thanks, Aries.
No, just waiting to see if he does it right and all the
Can
promotion.
you do it
that-
from memory?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
What's that? Give me the thing.
Come on, Aries.
I think
Aries sucks.
Don't be a bully.
Yeah, you bully.
Be a
That's what
bully.
I'm good
if-
at.
Be a bully if he does it right, perfectly, and all the times he fucked up everybody else's promotion was of work.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't fuck this
he's
up,
reading this from a piece of paper. He's
he
still
had
gonna
a piece
screw
of
it up.
paper for the Evil Streak show where people didn't even go to the same
No,
city.
he was reading that off his phone.
And I didn't
That's
have,
true.
And I had my. I didn't have my progressives on. I don't have them on now either, but this is a bigger piece of paper. So as I was saying, very good dear friend of mine and friend of the show, Sarana, talked to me and told me that another dear friend of ours from
She
the show.
talked to you?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
weird. That's fucking weird, right? R.A. Salvatore, call him Bob, is going to be appearing at That's Entertainment. All right, this Saturday, June 16th, which is the day after this show drops on Apple Bottom Podcast. What's it called?
Apple Podcast.
No. I like mine better. So, yeah, R.A. Salvatore, signing with fantasy author, creator of the Drizzt Do Erden. He'll be signing-
Drizdit.
Drizzt Do Erden.
Drizzt.
That's
Oh,
his
Drizzt.
hip hop name.
Drizdit.
Well, I can drizz that shit, dude. But yeah, no, Bob will be signing copies of his newest book, Child of a Mad God, A Tale of the Coven, and copies of his RPG Demon Wars, Reformation, both of which will be available to purchase at That's Entertainment. You may also bring up to your own 3 items to be signed for. That's fun, Aries. They're going to have free RPG days. They're going to have fucking dice, beginner Pathfinder adventures, all kind of fun stuff. So check it out, 244 Park Ave in Worcester.
Well, the good news is you're safe.
At least you read it.
Yeah.
Do you do that accent on purpose?
What?
Yeah, it was a big thing of conversation. A lot of people at the party were calling bullshit on you.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No,
What are you
well, no.
talking
This
about?
is even beyond the. Yeah, come to the That's Entertainment for the. It was just like.
Well, I'm trying to like broadcast excitement.
So you do that intentionally?
Yeah,
That-
attendees will have the option of choosing RPGs.
Why do you have
swag
that cadence?
from
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
tier
that's not a
levels.
good reading cadence.
No, it's not a good reading cadence at all.
You can read better than that.
Do WNBC when you read.
WNBC.
Just read it.
Read it like that.
Like WNBC?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a long fucking time.
No,
All right,
do
fine.
We will be giving away free RPGs and swag from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
really
while
good.
supplies
That's
last.
better, actually.
Wow.
Play-
that sounds better than you like.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're cold reading.
No,
it.
no, 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 no,
And you don't know where to put the
I
accent.
don't know.
I don't know where to put the accent. I'm from New England. It comes out of
Yeah, you know,
different places.
you know what Doc Siddell and Scott Cuddy once told me about reading stuff?
Yeah.
Like read it so you know what it's about,
Yeah.
but like don't memorize it because that comes out just as bad. But there's like an in between. So read it so you know what it's about. So if like Aries took it out of your head in the middle,
Yeah.
like you could keep going. But like if like
Yeah,
yeah, it's weird.
A little weird. Well, no. I mean, sign up to reserve your spot in the game.
that was so forced.
Sign up in store or over the phone. Partake in a one-shot adventure for free.
Pretend you're like you're a wrestling announcer. You're about to announce someone come out. How would you do that?
And coming to the ring, 3 tables, 3 systems, and 3 different adventures. Like that? I mean, I'm not a...
That's
It's a little bit better.
That's a little better.
Can I just see the
Copy?
type text? Yeah.
No, it's fun. People like that.
I mean, it's not.
So
also, to be fair, he's not reading like a thing. He's reading a flyer, so he
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to try to like put it together. So that's tough.
So it's cool
See?
though. R.A.
Thank you.
Salvatore will be at That's Entertainment.
Yeah, I wish I could go see him.
Where he needs his glasses, folks.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I had text. It was on
Hold
a
that for
fucking
me.
flyer. I'm trying to make it
Hold it across the room.
Was there something else you needed to read here?
No.
trying to make it exciting
I
for the
just can't
people.
read- I just
Wait,
need to-
wait. Maybe we should all read it and then find out who does the best.
Stop taking it away because I need it to be in a sweet spot.
What's
Sweet spot.
You should get progressives.
I forgot my
this
glasses.
fucking
at home.
You're out of your mind with the sweet spot.
The
You gotta,
eyesight.
You got to know
Yeah.
exactly where you hold. No, I'm not giving it to you. I'm not-
Why? Come
Here,
on,
dude,
Walt
I wanna-
Whitman. You
I wanna
fucking read
see.
it.
June 16th.
Now, to be fair, you do it for a job.
I wonder if I can
You
go.
forgot everything about this flyer right now, right?
No, it's June 16th at 3 p.m. on Saturday.
Everything you already read.
It's
Okay.
a free event. All ages welcome.
During this,
What you
lull,
just did
can
was
you,
better than when you read it. So that's
Yeah.
that's to my
do
point. Like you
have
know
any,
it.
You have any
but
new
don't-
information to add?
Yeah, matter
What,
of fact, I do.
what, Raven Shadow, what is Free RPG Day?
I'm glad you asked. It's where you can come in, you can sign up on the phone or in person, and you can play your own little role-playing game
So you
adventure.
can partake in a one-shot adventure for free.
Yeah.
That's better than the read you were doing.
Oh, the
Well, that's my flashback voice. I did that voice on purpose.
That's not your
Okay.
flashback voice. That's the only good thing that's ever on this show ever. I listen to all,
No,
I
it
listen to
is
all
the
time.
same flashback voice. It is.
yeah, it's a little bit of bad Christopher Walken with a New England accent.
That was yeah. Don't do accents. If that was your
No.
Christopher Walken.
No, I said a bad. Once again, you fucking. I said it's bad.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's bad. I know it's fucking bad.
Really fucking bad. Like not even like, ha, that was funny bad. That was just no.
Well, I didn't
If
say
that
it was
was your
funny.
Walken, don't do Walken.
Well, I'm
I'm walking. Yes,
I'ma do me.
indeed,
First
I'm walking.
time Mike came in, and I knew he'd come correct. Cyberpunk 2020 is the name of it. So
Yes, that's what I said.
no, you didn't.
What?
And Chromecast Josh says, "Dude, Ari Salvatore's rad."
Yeah,
See,
he's rad.
thank you.
Yeah, he's the best.
I have a lot of signed things of his because he lived right near the mall that I worked at. And he would
Yeah,
just go
yeah.
fucking sign everything.
I saw someone. So when I saw that Serrano had posted up the event on social media, people were commenting, and one person had commented and said that he used to like go in, sneak in, and just sign them and
Yeah.
put them back on the shelf,
Yeah.
which I think is fucking awesome.
A couple guys do that at the shop too. Christos Gage
really?
will do that.
Oh yeah.
And who else was just in?
He's a nice man.
I forget
Hopefully it
someone
wasn't
else.
EVS.
No, it wasn't him. Who the hell was this? Somebody awesome was doing that. Tim Sales done it when he
Nice.
was in. So it's pretty
That's cool. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, if you check out R.A. Salvatore at That's Entertainment, tell him Trick or Treat Radio sent you.
Absolutely. All right, so
And the name of the book is Child of a Mad God, Tale of the Coven.
Is that going to get them anything, or is that just like
Coven?
a cheap plug?
Well, no, it's cheap plug.
It's-
I'm-
okay.
hey, just help two friends of ours have a little event.
all right, after you hype the event, Raven
Yeah.
Shadow, you still got to watch the movie.
Oh, fuck, I still gotta watch the fucking movie. I'm fucking tired, Johnny.
All right.
This flyer was two-sided. It took them a long time to get through this.
Listen, yeah, I'm winded. I gotta go. Hey, I just had to.
So you can just say the thing.
Peter Pan's friend, Wendy.
What?
What? Just
Say
End it.
Wendy.
Just say it.
I went home and shut the lights off and strapped on.
Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
Hey there, this is R.A. Salvatore, call me Bob, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
I'm Ruby Burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics,
Like comics.
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
Fueled by tacos, beer, and Bloody Marys, the only show featuring baby Jesus with a nail gun, the pride of PA and the show with the eye of the tiger, ladies and gentlemen, Punch Farm.
Hey, this is Mark from Punch Farm. I'm here with Mark Dose. Hello. I'm here with Alicia.
Hello.
I'm here with Nikki.
Hey.
Join us every Monday as we talk about life, tacos, beer, and movies. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and punchfarm.com.
Keep on punching!
All right, we're back. I played that song specifically for Reverend Scott Mars.
Good thinking.
So we are going to talk about Cold Hell. This film, it just got a VOD release in 2018. Looks like it hit festivals in 2017. It is not rated. It is 92 minutes long, action thriller. And it is directed by Stefan Ruzowitzki and written by Martin Ambrosch. I think that's how you say that. And it stars Violetta Sherlow, Tobias Moretti, Robert Palfreder, Sammy Sheik, and Frederick von Thun. The synopsis: a vicious serial killer is targeting prostitutes in Vienna, Austria, that is. A tough young woman from Turkey who works as a taxi driver witnesses one of the murders and becomes a target. The police are of no help, so she must stop him herself. So Cold Hell is a Shudder exclusive here in the States. And I don't know what kind of a release it got internationally, but at least around here, it is available on Shudder. We've espoused the glory of Shudder before, so if you guys don't have Shudder, it is absolutely worth it. $5, you get access to some amazing movies, and there's a lot of exclusives there that you can't find anywhere else. So we heartily recommend you get Shudder, and you can see movies like Cold Hell, which this one actually has been up on Shudder for a couple months now. I think it debuted in March. But it was one that we never got a chance to got around to, and it was kind of a light week in terms of new VOD releases, so I thought this would be a good one to revisit. So, Corny's asking where Raven Shadow is. Where do you think he is, Corny? What does he do during breaks? What does Ares no longer do during breaks?
Yeah, I'm not there to speed him along and get him back up here.
Yeah, exactly. So, I guess just give him. Actually, while we're waiting for him, I hate fucking waiting for him.
Fuck
but,
him.
The director Stefan Rzawiecki actually won an Oscar in 2007 for Best Foreign Language Film with a film called The Counterfeiters. Has anyone seen that? Mars, have you seen The Counterfeiters by any chance?
Sounds very familiar.
It's
I know
like
I
a
haven't
war
seen it, but
movie.
I feel like it.
He's from Austria, so I imagine it was Austria's submission for the Oscars that year. And he also has a new film in the can. I don't know when it's going to get released, but it looks like it's all done. I don't know if it has distribution or anything like that, so I don't know when we'll be seeing it, but it's got some pretty good star power. So his film Patient Zero has Natalie Dormer, who she was in Game of Thrones. I'm trying to think of her character's name. Let me just look it up real quick. She was Marjorie Tyrell. That's who she was. And it also has Matt Smith, one of the doctors, right? Yep. Stanley Tucci.
Nice.
And is this who I think it is? Yeah, John Bradley. He's also from Game of Thrones as well. Samuel Tarly. So it's got some pretty good star power in it, and it sounds pretty cool. So Patient Zero, if that comes out this year, I imagine we'll be checking that out as well. It is. That's not the movie we're talking about, so I'm not going to read the synopsis. But if you guys want to take a look, you can find it online. But Cold Hell. So right off the bat, as you start this movie, this had a very kind of neo-noir feel to it, complete with saxophone. Like the soundtrack, featured a sax solo like really early on. So I'm thinking that he's kind of channeling this sort of neo-noir feel, which I thought was interesting because we get this movie here is a mashup, or maybe like all these kind of different genres put into a blender, and make Cold Hell. And typically when that happens, it can be very dangerous because sometimes it doesn't work because you put too much in and you're trying to do this while something else is going on. But so I guess we'll talk about how well this movie handled it. But right off the bat, you get that kind of noir feel to it right away. And you also have it's drenched in neon, like right off the bat. So right away, this film had my interest with those elements right off the bat. Now, Raven Shadow, I know you sent me a text or a message after you finished watching it, and you said, just finished the movie. Yo! So typically that means that you're excited to talk about it.
Yes.
So I guess we don't need to run down. I sometimes feel like we get caught up running down the plot of a movie too much, and I don't know that really. Basically, what happens here is basically what happened in the synopsis. What I read. This woman, she's a taxi driver. She has like a tough night at work. She works, I assume long into the night. She comes home, and she goes to the bathroom, looks out the window, and sees into another adjacent apartment and sees a dead woman, and then all of a sudden sees a man, like, was he holding a knife or something like that? I don't remember. Yeah, I think he was holding a knife. And so she caught a glimpse of someone else and the dead body, but didn't catch the killer's face. But I think the killer probably was like just being careful, and so he decided, he was going to come after her because he didn't want he didn't know if she had seen him or not. But there was also in that there was also sort of an element of giallo to this, because you don't see the killer's face for a long time.
Right.
And
really until
near the end. It wasn't really a whodunit like some other giallos are. Like, that wasn't an element of this necessarily. It had this sort of like creeping vibe of, is that the person maybe? Or is that the person? But it's never really a focus of who could it be? It wasn't a whodunit, It was just sort of, that was part of it, is you just don't know who it is, and then you kind of find out near the end. But I thought that was good because it would have, I think that would have distracted a little bit if there was a little bit too much of a whodunit element to it. So, I mean, essentially, and we have this, and she is kind of pushed to the brink. Like, there's a lot of shit that goes down with her. Like, as the movie starts, she clearly has like recently broken up with her boyfriend. I would assume, like who is the teacher at the MMA gym that she goes to.
Yeah.
You know, and he's seemed like kind of an asshole. Like he was like seeing another girl, like, and it seemed like it was pretty fresh, right? Did you get that vibe? And he was already seeing another girl. So she goes after this whole witnessing the murder thing and the cops showing up, and the cops really weren't gonna help her out either. And I guess at this point it's important to say that she is a Turkish woman living in Vienna, Austria. Now I imagine a Turkish woman living in Austria is probably similar to a Turkish woman living in America. That's kind of the vibe I got, at least. I mean, it's never explicitly said, but people definitely looked at her a little different. Like she was at a deficit, you know, like,
right.
Like already she's a woman, she's single, she's strong-willed, opinionated. She has a criminal record on top of all that.
Yep.
And she's definitely discriminated against for the color of her skin. So she's got a lot of elements kind of working against her right off the bat. And that's why, like, the cops just kind of like, oh, we can't really help you, you know? Like, they were just kind of, like, passing the buck.
Yeah, they really didn't give a fuck.
Right.
You know, and kind of being condescending. Like, you know, I didn't see anything. Well, how did you know it was a man?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Call us when you get something. And, I mean, if it's not implied in the beginning, we find out later on that she definitely has a even larger backstory.
Yeah.
Of a past.
And so I think that right there, like that alone is a pretty powerful message as to why she's driven to take action into her own hands when it gets to that point. It shouldn't have gotten to that point because the police should have stepped in and said, okay, we'll have someone watching your door. We'll have, you know, like that's what should happen, right? Like at least you'd imagine.
Oh,
so.
They offered to have a counselor come over.
Right. What the fuck
like
is that?
Not a guard, but a counselor.
Yeah, a counselor.
Great.
We'll talk you through it. So already, like, she's on her own, and then her family doesn't want her. Her MMA gym doesn't want her because she goes in to go work out, and she puts on her gloves, and the coach or whatever who was her ex, you know, it looks like they have a new recruit, and he's like, oh, hop in the ring and show this guy a thing or two. And so the guy sees a girl. He's like, I'm not going to fight a girl. And he takes his headgear off. So she doesn't go in with headgear either. Yeah. And then he's just playing with her, you know, because it's a woman, and he you know, he's not intimidated. And then she eventually kicks his fucking ass, like demolishes him. And like to the point where she got kicked out of the gym because she was like punching him and kneeing him and going pretty nuts.
So
now
broke his nose in like 2 places.
Yeah.
Elbows and knees was the big thing.
Yes. Yeah. Now, granted, she had a rough time leading up to this. And then also one other thing we haven't mentioned yet is she was in her taxi. So the night, it was before the murder, I believe. She was driving, and then there was somebody blocking her in the road, like just 2 guys talking. And she's like, hey, move, let me get by. And the guy was like, you know, fuck you. Called her a cunt, I think, or something like that, right? So she gets out, confronts them, and then the guy's still rude. So she proceeds to kick his ass.
She had a good put down too, like about who does your hair, your mom or this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did push her first before she attacked him.
True. Right. Yeah, it's a good distinction.
Yeah. No, she was completely justified in her. I mean, granted, it was probably a little over the top, but
yeah,
he did strike her first.
Yep. And so off the bat, we're getting the impression that this girl doesn't fuck around, you know, like, and in concert with everything else I mentioned about being a single woman, strong-willed, opinionated, she has a criminal record, she's discriminated against because of the color of her skin, you know, all these things. I would imagine that there's a lot kind of bubbling under the surface, right?
Right.
So you can sort of understand why she has some of this aggression, and especially seeing a murder and being kind of hunted by this killer, or at least not hunted, but like aware that he is looking for her, or being careful about what she does for fear of him showing up, you know. So were you gonna say something, Mars?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I just saw you get up to the mic.
Actually,
so.
I don't have a ton to say about this. Like, I thought it was just kind of like like fine. Like there was the stuff that I liked about it were purely from a martial arts like point of view. Like I felt
Sure,
like
sure.
the combat was presented very well. I liked how they didn't do the thing that happens in a lot of movies where like a smaller man or woman, because of their skills, automatically like transcends the size difference. You know what I mean? Like she had to fight for her spot a lot. And I thought there was like a couple of there was some cool stuff, but I felt like I had just seen every single thing in this like movie before, except for the characters kind of struggle. Like I felt like they kind of just tried to put two great tastes together that, you know.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Like she fucking fell in the water and had like all those fucking rapid fire flashbacks, and there was a fucking train chase, and like there was like the car chase was pretty okay,
Yeah.
but then somebody clipped the door. Like there was just every fucking
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of cliches in the movie.
yeah, it was like really, 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 really. It was like it reminded me, not in a good way, of like something like Gone Girl or The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, in the sense where I felt like they were trying to adapt like a bigger thing here, like almost like it was something before, and there was just like all that was left was like oh well, we can tell this story, and then we just have kind of this movie chicanery. And then I feel like a lot of the other stories, like her relationship with that child and stuff like that, just kind of felt like shoehorned in, because it was like just like all of a sudden like, you know,
I
like
didn't feel it was shoehorned. I just thought that it was piling on top of her, like of all the responsibility she has and all the shit that she deals with. Here's some more for you, and just to really send her over the top. I think it made sense for me.
And I do feel like this might be nitpicking, and you know, I do feel like all of her progression that was like she did something that I felt like was totally like Hollywood cliche, that kind of like hamstringed the more empowering hero of her. You know what I mean? Like we can't have a fucking female character in a movie without her like jumping into bed with somebody. Like it's like,
well, it did go there a little bit, but I actually thought it was going to go further, and it didn't go further, which I liked. Like it got, you're right, like it got to a point where we have this really strong woman, and she can take care of herself despite being kind of alone in the world. You know, like I never felt that she was desperate. Like despite everything that was happening, like she did ask for help a couple times, and then she got turned away. And so she was content just to kind of like hang out on her own and do her own thing and not grovel, you know, for anything. So I thought like a lot of that made sense, you know, and it just sort of piled on. And that to me just kind of like what drove her to do what she did, you know?
Well, I mean, in terms of that scene, that we're definitely jumping ahead.
well, I thought we weren't talking about the plot, so I thought it would be okay.
Oh, no, fair. But I think she saw a similarity in that character for what he's dealing with.
I mean, he's going through his own
Yeah.
problems.
His own child, like he's dealing with a
Yeah.
different kind of child.
But sometimes you just have to look at things as like a bigger picture. Like you can justify anything.
And
You could have made her. I mean, look at, we watched fucking Revenge, and a woman got impaled and pretty much came back to life and became a
Right.
superhero. Like you can justify anything, but looking at the bigger picture, you know, it sort of just underscores like, well, we got a woman in a movie. She's got to have like some sort of quasi-romantic interest, and
I mean,
like
yeah,
it's-
it was completely unnecessary.
I
Yeah,
agree
I
a
agree.
little bit more with Raven Shadow in the fact that it sort of showed her that someone could be good to her because she had so much shit, and then so she did end up seeing this, you know. I guess I won't say the character's name just in case it's not really a spoiler, but she met someone
Right.
who kind of was a nurturer. Like he wasn't like, he just was like when they showed him with Ada, with the girl,
Right.
and teaching her how to play piano. Like I thought that was a really sweet scene, and you could tell that she also thought so. You know, she was like, oh well, look how they're interacting.
I just felt like she fucking folded the first time that somebody who wasn't a bad person in this landscape
Sure,
show.
sure.
Like, and
I don't see that at all, man.
I don't think
see
she
that-
folded, but I can
Yeah.
understand with so many bad people around her and so many people pushing her away. This person sort of let her into his life, and was like, kind of didn't ask for anything in return, you know.
But throughout the whole, like up until this point, he was pushing her away.
He was a douche, yeah. And,
Yeah.
and first time Mike says in the chat room, the one cop is a douche right off the bat.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I've been a douche to many women. Like, yeah, thank you.
Don't
I've
clap. Why are you
never,
clapping
I've
for
never
that?
had. Like,
I'm not clapping.
Wow, you're
No, no,
clapping
no.
these a
I
douche
hate
to
this
women?
show.
No,
I hate
no. I'm just not clapping. I'm like, way to go, Aries.
I never
That's
thought
your-
I'd hope
That's not
Zero
what's-
was back.
That's no. I wasn't clapping to praise him. I was clapping because why would you say that? Like that's it was.
You don't even defend yourself.
Because you're not smart enough to understand the context of the joke.
You're not
that's-
smart.
I wasn't clapping.
Yeah, I just think if you look at like the whole landscape of things, for me, it would have been more impactful if they didn't like I feel like things like that
I
are
won't
put
disagree.
in.
I won't disagree with you.
I feel like things like that are put in so that a majority male audience will be like not feel alienated by the fact that
Well, it was more of the. Of course, he's going to help her. She slept with him. It's his obligation. That's what I felt with that. That you know what, she has to sleep with him in order for him to help her.
No, he already helps her though. He already went against things that he shouldn't be doing.
To a certain degree, but he could have and he should have, and I think he still would have done what he did without that.
I just saw nothing. There was like no. Sometimes it's cool to not have anything new in a movie. Like, I don't think like one of my favorite movies last year was Hard Target 2, and I'm not gonna fucking front and say Hard Target 2 broke a lot of ground, but I also feel like this did have an air of trying to be a little more important than what it was.
I
and
didn't
I
feel
think
it had an air of
I think
that at all.
It just muddied the water a little bit when it was just like really a super pedestrian paint by numbers thriller.
How was it trying to be important to you? Like,
I just felt like they I felt like they added like the political context of like her relationship in that country, which is a good movie in itself and could have been a better movie. It could have made this movie a better movie. I think that.
Well, I think it was important to the plot, though.
Yeah, but I don't think that they did like I don't know that they handled it deftly enough. Like I don't think they handle anything deftly enough in this. Like you mentioned, like the kind of quasi murder mystery, and I feel like there was like quasi like political text here, and I feel like it was like a quasi action. Like I feel like they just kind of like didn't go all in on anything except for the brutality of her attacks, which I feel like was almost like what got the director really excited about this, like kind of that prospect of that sort of like the brutality of that style of combat presented in a pretty realistic way, in that sort of like we talked about like the rape revenge films without the rape, right? You know what I mean? Like that sort of like empowerment of a character in like that sort of brutality. Like I felt like that was kind of what he was like all in for, and like I feel like everything else was like in the script anyway. I feel like everything else was getting to that point. And so when you had like the relationship with that one character's father and stuff like that, like it just kind of felt like what movie is this in? Like I didn't like, and it eventually ended up being like a plot device, which worked pretty well. But like I didn't feel like anything really. Like I didn't feel like the noir aspects. I didn't feel like the killer aspects, like the violent. Like they never actually, in my opinion, like fully gelled to be a full movie. And I think a lot of it was like just by like how fucking pedestrian a lot of the everything else was. Like how many times, like, I mean.
Well, when you've seen a movie like I Saw the Devil, like like that's one that kind of. I would never compare this movie to that, but with the story that's going on. It echoes it a little bit,
but
right?
That's the comparison.
But that is a perfect movie.
Right.
So there's no way to really compare, but we've seen that. So when we've seen that, it's like, okay, here's something that's doing something similar. It's not that. So it's, it's hard not to think about that. And in no terms am I saying that this is like
But-
a ripoff of I
No,
Saw
not at
It.
all. I don't think it's too awful similar. But
No,
the
no.
the comparison that's the comparison you want to make. But like it reminded me more of like Sandra Bullock thrillers and what's his fucking name that made Deep Blue Sea and Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Rennie Harlan.
Harlan,
movies.
I was thinking
You know what
Rennie
I mean?
Harlan,
Like I just was like, fuck, like oh well, here's the scene like where you plummet into the water and now you're having like the fucking revelatory flashbacks and stuff like that, and we're gonna
I don't
chase
know,
into
it
a
didn't bug me,
we're
but-
gonna oh it didn't necessarily bug me, like I didn't turn it off, but I also like there's no denying that like 10 minutes into this movie I would have been shocked if there wasn't a fucking chase in the subway. Or we were the 40 minutes into this movie because I felt like it had an incredible setup and then just started to fucking fall into really pedestrian action thriller areas.
I thought some of that stuff was really well done, though, and I think it elevated this movie to because I did have some issues with it. Like, I think that I liked a lot of the disparate elements that kind of brought it in to make this sort of blend of a movie, but I do agree that it got close a couple times, and then kind of I think because it was trying to serve too many masters that it sort of wasn't able to fully go full force on any of those things.
I agree 100%.
But I think that some of the scenes were really inspired. I loved that the car fight. Like, I thought that was really well done. It wasn't blow my mind like I'd never seen anything like that before, but I thought that it was economically filmed and edited, and I think they did a really good job. And I actually really loved the subway chase. And when I think of subway chases, I immediately the first thing comes to mind is Maniac from 1981.
Right.
That's one of the classics, and that's probably one of the best ones if I'm gonna pick like a subway chase scene.
Oh, Neon Maniacs.
Fair, yeah. But so this was, I mean, it reminded me a little bit of that, and I thought that was a really cool scene, especially when she found him in the fucking train and went fucking nuts on him.
Yeah, every time that happened,
was awesome.
no matter where it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the subway was shot very well and,
Yeah.
and done very well, and it was kind of a little bit of a role reversal because usually something like that where you see a guy attacking a woman,
Sure.
and the masses pulling the
Right,
guy off the
right,
woman,
and this time they're pulling the woman.
the
Yeah.
masses are pulling the woman off the
Yeah.
guy, and the guy
It was-
is fleeing for his life.
Right.
It was a little bit
That
of a
was-
role reversal.
That's
like,
true. That was interesting.
It was. I kind of liked that.
I liked
'cause,
it too, yeah.
Like no one was like, okay, why is this woman attacking this guy? They weren't looking
Right,
for an
right.
explanation. They were just like automatically
Get her off.
get her off of
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Here's this 95-pound woman attacking this 180-pound guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
save him. No one bothered to like try to figure out why.
Right.
They just were like, get her off of him and let
Yeah.
him flee.
Well, I mean, there's something like shocking about the savagery of her attacks, like in context.
Yeah.
Like even out of context, like
Oh
you know,
yeah, I
like-
mean, to see that, like all of a sudden this woman attacks a man next to you, you're like, holy crap, we got to stop this. I mean, I'm not saying that it was wrong that these people
like they
acted this
definitely
way.
did it. Like she like almost always like had some sort of body control.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I think the only thing I didn't like in this movie, and we can't really talk about it, but I thought the end was fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Like unbelievable.
I disagree.
Okay,
Why?
we're gonna
I'll
talk off
see.
air about that one.
Yeah. Why?
We can't play it here.
Why did she do that?
We're gonna talk off air about that one. Don't you don't keep on saying it because we can't talk.
Oh my god! I was like,
I felt I don't know if we're talking about the same things.
Yeah, I
but
wanna know what we're-
but I thought the end was realistic. Like in an action movie, we're gonna see a showdown where she challenges him to a fight in the street.
not my problem.
Okay.
Okay,
But
off
that,
air.
Okay.
Off air.
But I want to talk about that real quick. Actually, hold on. Before we get to that, one of my favorite scenes. So she gets attacked by the killer. She gets away. and she falls into the water. There's a scene that Dynamo was talking about, and she gets away. And so she ends up in the hospital. And she has these cuts all over her from the car fight that they had. And then, so she kind of, maybe after like a day or two, I imagine she wasn't in there long. But, and I even like that relationship with her, like, her hospital
friend,
roommate.
Yeah.
I thought she was in there for a while, actually, because she missed the funeral.
Okay, and maybe so.
The funeral's a couple of days.
Maybe so. I mean, granted, a couple days still, like it wasn't longer than like a couple, like 3-4 days.
She wasn't in there for a month.
No. So, but
Maybe
then,
5 days.
but then she gets out, and then, she's peeling off the bandages, and she's sitting there looking in the mirror, peeling off the bandages, and looking at all the cuts all over her body, and she says, "What'd she say, Ram Shadow? Do you remember the quote? If I'll say it, if not, but I thought you might.
I remember it.
I remember no more.
No,
or
she says,
no.
I'm going to fucking kill you.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yes, like I did like a fist pump, because I thought that was a really cool scene. Like she's just showing like the scars, and there's actually not even scars; they're like still wounds.
There's still wounds. There's still stitches in them.
And she's naked and she's looking in the mirror and just has that realization.
Right.
Like, you know what? I'm fucking.
I have to take things into my own fucking hands. I am gonna fucking kill you.
Because she tried everybody else.
Yep.
No one gives a fuck.
Yep.
And she's gonna do it. And I like that she gave the lady a cigarette.
Did she give her a cigarette?
Yeah.
She did. Yeah. She was dying of cancer.
Raven
Shadow, it's a move after your own heart.
Oh,
right?
that
one of you motherfuckers gave me a cigarette.
That
when it's
old
my
woman,
time.
that is you.
Thank you.
That is old. That is you. Dying of cancer in the hospital. Fucking light
Would
up.
you give me your jacket, Raven Shadow? Not that it'll fit me, but.
But you're losing some weight. Yeah,
I think my shoulders are a little bit bigger than yours.
my Jack Knight one, my half length. Yeah, you can have that.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want that one actually.
Why? It's a nice fucking coat.
It's leather.
Oh, what's already fucking dead, Johnny? Okay. It's already gone.
Died of natural causes. It's okay.
All right, I'll get you my varsity jacket.
Your varsity jacket.
I have a silk robe you can wear.
Yeah, you don't have a
I don't have a
varsity
varsity
jacket.
jacket.
Yeah, you tried out for sports here, right? First time Mike says, I saw their relationship in the scene you're talking about as two broken people seeking comfort in a horrible situation.
Yes.
Which,
you know what? There's one line that breaks that she definitely heard that I'm not exactly sure of the intention of it, but right as it fades away, he says, stop doing that, don't make me hit you again, or something to that effect. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Who said that?
The caregiver, without trying to spoil this.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. The caregiver.
Yeah, and it kind of fades out. I mean, that would. I don't know if that was an empty threat or whether it was that he beats this man, but I don't.
I
to
also
sit there
feel
and listen
like
to that I think that would just ruin every kind of bond
Yeah, I
you
agree
would have.
too. Like I expect him to be more of a scumbag, and I also feel like everybody's fucking championing the fact that it made sense in the movie. I get it. I've seen a couple movies before. I understand how it works in the movie. I understand why they did it. I'm talking about the bigger picture. It would have been more impactful. It would have been more meaningful. I don't need to be pandered. My ego doesn't need to be pandered to. So, like, I don't need to have an identifying.
I don't know about that.
Well,
you sure?
what I'm trying to say is I'm not Monster Zero. I'm not going to think that, like, well, naturally she's going to, a woman's going to jump in bed with a man. Like, I think that it doesn't need to have, my ego doesn't need to be pandered for, mister. I've got a 45-minute intro.
I mean, well, that whole sequence was for a couple of jokes.
What sequence were we talking about?
With
the caregiver?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there was the pre-joke and the post-joke of the whole thing.
And there was the
they weren't even like laugh out loud jokes. They were just like, oh yeah.
There was the how we got to the end thing too. Like it was like I don't.
It was to add to his.
To that guy's piled up on, so
Yeah,
she could
to
identify
the situation he was in.
Which, yes, children, I get it. I get why it works in the movie. Thank you for educating me. But at the end of the day, I just think that it just turned me off a little. Like I feel like it's like it's not even earned. Like I thought it was like kind of irritating when Scarlett Johansson had to fuck one of the Avengers. Like at least they fucking earn it. Like at least they build a relationship over time. Like
I don't know.
Well, it was the Hulk.
Raven Shadow, I feel like you haven't had a chance to really speak on this, and after your text reply last night, I want to hear. I want to hear more.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to spoil her a lot, man.
Well, just you don't have to spoil, but you apparently like this movie, right?
I did. I mean, when I watched it, the first few minutes, I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. I'm into this, and then I'm like, fuck. They've shown a lot of stuff. There's still a whole lot more fucking time left to this fucking movie, and I'm like, god damn it. And I'm like, I like this little change in character, and I was like, damn.
Wow. I shouldn't have went to you. I shouldn't have went to you.
Please elaborate as to what made you go,
damn. No, I'm just having fun with you. No, I did like it. I mean, is it stuff that maybe you've seen before? I don't know, but I fucking did. And even, I think the ethnicity was important. And once again, I'm sure I'll be fucking told I'm wrong in the minute I say it. But it's fair to say that
Wrong.
Damn.
Damn.
Kevin Spacey in Superman Returns. Wrong. But am I right in saying that serial killers are still pretty much a Caucasian American thing? Oh, for the most part.
Well, I mean, obviously, our perspective is it is a white dude thing.
But even historically,
but
right?
I mean, we don't really get the news about serial killers in other countries necessarily.
No.
You
but
know,
at least public ones. I mean, there was that one they made the HBO movie about, the one in fucking Russia a couple years ago.
Yeah, but it was interesting. I mean, this one was sort of religiously.
It gave it a spin to be why it's not a Caucasian in America.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, granted, it took place in Austria, so it wouldn't have been America. But
I'm trying to say make it different for a foreign land.
Yeah.
I like the fact that she wasn't, a classic final girl, if you want to say that she had baggage and strength that, if you're gonna fucking kill somebody, do your fucking homework. She's not just some,
Well, he kind of it just kind of shows he fucked with the wrong woman, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think he just assumed all women were pushovers.
Because that's how he treats them.
Yeah. Just all women are inferior in his mind.
It was like the reverse of Crime Wave. Like there was somebody actually competent on the other end of the.
So I think that was kind of part of the message too, is that he just assumes that he can just keep doing this, and granted, what we find out about him later on is wow, it's kind of a revelation, right, about what he does. So I thought that was kind of an interesting wrinkle as well. But yeah, I think that's the point, is that he just assumed that he can just do anything to these women because they're not going to do anything back. He's going to overpower them. He's going to do whatever he wants.
And for various other reasons that will be revealed later on, why he
Sure.
thinks that he has a golden ticket to be able to do these things.
Yeah.
It was like it really reminded me. I could never put my finger on it, but there's another, type character who he really reminded me of, but I'm totally at a fucking loss. Kind of reminded in his stature and the way he kind of moved and stuff. He reminded me of the way what's that actor from Lock, Stock, 2 Smoky Barrels? The big soccer player.
Vinny
guy,
Jones.
Yeah. How he was in Midnight Meat Train, but I think that it was really interesting. There is actually Raven Shadow. I'll give you a book. There's more female serial killers than you think, but I think that I don't think that unless we're doing a docudrama sort of thing like Monster and stuff like that, but there's not. I mean, there's just not. I think that there's something strangely. You're not wrong, because I think that there's something strangely hardwired predatory about men. Of a certain
it's
a certain
just,
ethnicity.
It's an ego thing of I can do whatever I want, and also that you can it's this comes from the patriarchal society of I can do whatever I want, and I can do whatever I want to women,
and to
no one's going to do anything, and I'm going to get away with it. It's just this sort of arrogance and ego that's associated with it,
and down to that certain level of kink, your certain target, your certain demographic. You know what I mean? That's
you guys say that like it's wrong.
Okay, perfect.
First time Mike says, I cared about the characters far more than I thought I would.
Yeah, and as you see her journey of going to where she's going to be safe, and how none of those options work for her. for any other
Yeah,
reason, you know,
yeah,
from
yeah.
whether it be past history or maybe she doesn't see herself as a battered woman. You know, she'll take care of herself. You know, and what led her to her helper, so to speak.
Mhm.
You know, the path that she's like,
Yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah.
but she kept the child in tow with her.
Yeah.
And even as they kind of morphed into that new family, so to speak, between Ada,
Yeah,
the mother, the helper, and his father, despite his father being a little bit scary at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, that was-
the one scene.
Yeah.
Was like, oh fuck, another one. But I liked it. I don't know. Maybe it was the right moment. I didn't know anything about the premise, but I was really along for the ride for this one.
Yeah, I was too, and I think that to speak to something Mars had mentioned earlier about, we kind of get that whole thing where, you know, she ends up sleeping with someone, and it's like, like you're kind of falling into the same, you know, the same trappings of what you know women in movies typically do. But then there's a scene at the end where she was captured, and I thought she was gonna get saved, and that didn't happen. You know, like something different happened that kind of subverted what I expected.
But she did fucking get saved, which pissed me off.
Well, to a certain degree.
Not well. I guess that's the thing we'll talk about during the break.
Off air.
How is it to a certain degree?
Off air.
Off air, yeah. Because it's gonna. I can't talk about
Talk to
what's
me like
spoiling.
you're my dad. Off air.
Yeah.
Is that
I
what you
said off air.
Yeah.
I said
Know what
off
I
air,
want.
and you'll like it.
But you know, like that really pissed me off. The thing that the other part of the ending, like I felt like we went through the whole fucking movie without fucking demoralizing the effectiveness of this character, or they did a poor job of showing that she was ready for that to happen, which I sort of put in myself contextually, but I don't know that they were trying to do that. It just seemed a little too lazy. I will say at the end, I will say towards the beginning, it did remind me the neon and everything else. It did remind me of Drive a little bit at the end.
The end or the beginning?
The beginning, rather.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like I feel like
yeah, it definitely had that vibe with the neon.
like just navigate, not just that, just navigate like.
And she was a driver.
Navigating the street, yeah. You know.
All right. Is there anything else we need to discuss before we head to the verdict? Was there anything you guys want to
just
discuss
real
with
quick,
us?
what I'm thinking, I was just kind of doing a precursory look. And one thing that is
cursory.
very interesting about female serial killers is that they're not fucking dumb. Like, or they're not like, it's usually, with the exception of what's her name that killed all those kids, it's usually not like a predatory thing. It's usually a
weird like matri.
Well, no, like a Black Widow sort of
That's
thing.
what I was thinking,
or,
Black Widow, yeah,
like
yeah.
or a
yeah, and that kind of speaks to I think,
like
difference
it's
of-
like it's like a different
Motivation.
Yeah, like it's not usually generally like a predatory thing, which is a really like interesting thing. Like I mean, I guess there is an argument to be made that our expectations could make somebody like that hide in plain sight. But as far as the people who did it enough to get caught, I mean, what's her name that they made Monster about?
Yeah.
Like she really like most of the time it was about she was like a robber, like it was like a.
Right. She wasn't a serial killer though per se, as a killer.
Well, she's I don't think I think that serial killing really means in the like at the end of the day like just like multiple like
Yeah, let's not argue semantics.
But no, but I know.
No.
I think by definition I was going by was whether you like brunettes, so a certain type, a certain target, a certain age. You have a certain level of kink
Well,
involved.
I believe the definition is just number of kills.
Yeah, like serial. You're thinking of like movie tropes more so, but it's about like somebody who like kills like in a pattern.
Here's
for like a reason.
Here's
I was trying to say that, but
let me just read something real quick. This is about the difference between male and female serial killers. So, it says that it's true that there are far less female serial murders than there are males, although percentage-wise there are more female serial murderers. 15% in comparison to 85% male. So it actually is more than I thought. I thought that it would be like maybe 95-5. So there's 85% men that are serial killers or serial murderers. And it says, but they're, let me read again just for context. There are less female serial murderers than there are males. But there are the one-time killers. So this is really written weirdly, but the percentage of women that are one-time killers is lower than serial killers. So women that kill are more likely to be serial killers than single killers. But it says it's also true that you aren't as likely to see a woman torturing her victim or having sex with a dead corpse. The kinds of gory details that make headlines and sell movies. In fact, sex and pleasure are likely to be much further down on the motivation list for female serial killers than men. Women tend to make a more pragmatic approach to killing people off. Female serial killers kill for profit and power, as opposed to desire or whatever, you know. Right. So, you know, it is a little bit more than I anticipated. I thought it would be a lower percentage of women that are serial killers, but there you go.
Yeah, I'm looking for her. I'm sure she's in here. There was like one of the most notorious ones that are kind of like what our definition of a serial killer is. Killed. She was a pediatric nurse that killed. She got caught killing 2. But at different occasions, like, admitted to killing more. And then once they figured out how she did it, it's like, oh, maybe she's responsible for all these people. And once they put all the info together, she might have killed almost 100 babies.
Like, I remember hearing about that woman. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You know. And then there's the Angel of Death there, who, you know, it was more of a Black Widow thing. But it's funny. The only time that you end up hearing sex put into it is if I've read a lot of dumb books about this, but if you there are quite a few like accomplice wife killers, you know, that have like aided their husbands in raping and killing and stuff like that. But like,
right.
That's more of like a demented servitude than.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's probably more being manipulated to do it. But all right, well, let's head to a verdict on this one because I think we're sort of veering off the path a little bit, and let's get. Well, Aries just fucking left.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with him last. So, all right, let's do the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Before we do that, though, let me real quick catch up on the chat room. Humble Eddie says, Miss 45, Abel Ferreira's 1981 film, is my favorite female killer film. And Cecil says, that's my favorite Lady Revenge movie for sure. Miss 45 is great. Then probably Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. I don't know.
That's on...
Is it on Shudder?
Shudder right now,
yeah.
Not Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, Miss 45.
Miss 45, yeah. And then Humble Eddie says it starts off as a revenge, but then she just starts shooting random innocent dudes, which is unique to that subgenre. All right. Aries is back now, so let's do some verdicts. Raven Shadow.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling about this movie. I also wasn't...
Why do you have a bad feeling?
I don't know. I also wasn't in the best mood.
Sounded Japanese before you, right? That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm like, this is going to be fucking really painful. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know. I wasn't mentally really in a place to really...
Read subtitles?
Yeah, it's hard. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I really fucking enjoyed this movie quite a bit. So,
nice.
Big old motherfucking treat.
All right, Aries.
Yeah, I did enjoy the fact that this movie, right off the bat, established that this woman could take care of herself. It wasn't like a 180 at the end of the movie where suddenly she was able to, you know, get the courage or the knowledge to defend herself. It was always there. There was just aspects that happened that hindered her from using her skills throughout the movie. To some degree, I did enjoy the different film styles throughout the movie. Thought it was a little over the top at times, which kind of felt a little forced. which also, even though this movie didn't run long, it made it seem longer than it should have been or needed to be. But all in all, I did enjoy this movie. It was it wasn't groundbreaking with its storyline or anything, but it was a good watch. Yeah. So definitely a treat.
All right, Marsman.
As a film fan, you're either gonna love this like greatest hits package, or you're gonna be irritated by it. From the almost plagiarized Hitchcock conceit of the starting point to, the very.
I've seen. I mean, there's so many movies that have done that. Like, granted, I don't know if Hitchcock was the first, but I don't know. Like,
I feel like Rear Window is probably the first, right? Like,
I don't know. I couldn't say, but.
I think that. I mean, there's a lot of movies after Night of the Living Dead about people in a house with zombies, but still Night of the Living Dead was the jump-on point. But, like, there was only a few original ideas in this, at least from a genre point of view. And they sort of squandered them. But there is definitely something so exhilarating about the brutality of the combat in this. Those scenes in this film and the way they're put together, it's almost to me like there was a bunch of lazy set pieces that didn't even feel like they had enough joy and energy to be homage tied together to get to those. So I'm going to give this a tepid treat. I think it's definitely worth watching, but we are still, I guess maybe that's the best we can expect from. I think it's safe to say, without getting in a lot of trouble, that the way that Turkish women are thought of, around the world, like this is definitely a victory in that sense of how we had this heroic character. She was female. They definitely weren't wishy-washy of female. It didn't feel like they did that thing where they just like arbitrarily, you know what I mean? Like this could have been a movie about a male cab driver. Like there were elements of this that were distinctly female. The character was great. There was a few missteps in the way, they handled her relationships with other people. And the last 5 minutes was fucking bonkers dumb. To the point where I went back and rewound for a minute to make sure I didn't miss a plot point to figure out why they were even here. But like I don't know, like I wouldn't turn somebody away from this, especially because it's on Shudder. But I don't know that I would jump out of the way. So I think tepid treat is fair. I was gonna say almost barely a trick, but I feel like it definitely I don't know it was worth it for me on Shudder, which I already pay for to watch her punch that guy in the face all those times. So, great arch too. Like I wonder if she's actually a fighter, because that's not easy.
She has some kind of training.
Because that's not an easy punch to have not look fucking stupid. Like I can't even do it for fake, because it's that's a hard angle and just she was fucking doing it like it was going out of style. So.
All right, for me, this was a treat. This I thought was a very interesting amalgamation of genres, and that can be a slippery slope because it could fail bad. It was part neo-noir, thriller, action, giallo, and horror, kind of all blended up into this satisfying film. The actress who played Ozga was Violetta Shurlo, and I thought that she was a revelation in this. I thought she was awesome. She displayed a lot of range. She got to kick ass. She got to appear vulnerable and lonely and very strong. I just felt I was with her the whole arc of her of her character, which that's attributed to good acting. And she wasn't necessarily a good person, but it was very easy to root for her because of the situation that she was in. And I think that was kind of an important distinction, because we've seen so many movies where the characters are so unlikable, whether they're intended to be or not. I feel like this did a good job of showing a character who was flawed, Like she had a record. Like she did impulsive things and maybe stupid things, but you really cared for her. And I think that was attributed to the writing, the direction, and the acting of it. So I think that was a big success. And I think that this film is especially relevant now in the world we live in, especially in this country. And I think that especially with all this fucking stuff with ICE going on, it's, I don't want to get into it because it's going to make me angry, but it's bullshit, I also love the way they mixed in a very realistic form of combat. We didn't see anything that seemed unrealistic, and even in the climax of the film, which, I think there's going to be some debate about in the break, but Ozga used any means necessary to try to best the killer. She didn't challenge. There wasn't like a stand-up fight at the end, which this movie could have worked up towards that.
Like fight on a rooftop or a bridge.
Yeah, which, I mean, I love that shit. Don't get me wrong, but this was very grounded, and it felt like all of this could have actually happened. And so because of that, it felt realistic, and the action sequences I thought were pretty inspired and worked well in the grand scheme of things. And just as a general concept, I love the sea change that is happening in film, especially in genre film, in which we're seeing a subversion of the typical gender roles and tropes. I think that's, granted, it didn't quite go all the way in this, because there were some things that I think we all had, I think Mars was alluding to. There's some things that they could have maybe done a little bit better and gone all the way. But I think that this is an interesting change that we're seeing with films like Revenge and this and some other films. And I like it, and I think it's going to keep genre films fresh because, granted, we've had revenge movies that featured women. Like, that's not a new concept necessarily. But now we can tackle other issues with having these strong women leading the charge. Like, I think there's some really cool things that could be done. A lot of stories, and I think it can really kind of reinvigorate some of these kind of tired tropes, and we could subvert them and make them more interesting. So I think, and not only does it make it more interesting, it's also challenging the way that we think about them. So I enjoyed this movie. It definitely wasn't a perfect film, but I think it was a gripping thriller. I was on the edge of my seat at the end, and I think it had some great genre nods, and I think this is a film that a lot of people out there will dig. And like Mars said, granted, this doesn't excel at doing, as a thriller, or it doesn't excel as an action movie. It doesn't excel as a neo-noir giallo horror, but I think it does all of those elements well, and it puts them into like this one kind of nice concoction that makes for a satisfying film. So for me, treat. And we had treats all around, varying degrees, but it's on Shudder. If you already have a subscription, check it out. I think some people dig it out there. So, and if you guys do get a chance to check it out after the fact, feel free to send us your thoughts on it at any time. All right, so next week for episode 308, we're going to do a film from our friends over at Artsploitation, and it's called A Taste of Phobia. It is a horror anthology dealing with different phobias. So I guess each short features a different phobia, and there's 14 shorts, 14 directors. So should be interesting. We haven't done an anthology in a while, it seems.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So we'll check this one out, and with Artsploitation, there's certainly a little left to center, I guess, with the kind of films that they release. So it could be interesting, and it's international. It's an international affair. So it's filmmakers from all over the world. It's not just American filmmakers. So
probably not since Holidays, right?
They were all American.
No, but an anthology.
He's talking about anthology.
Oh, yeah, that's the last one that
was it Southbound?
I think Holidays was after Southbound.
Okay, it might be. Yeah, we may not have even done one last year.
Holidays was here, right? No.
Yeah.
So that was after Southbound, I think. I think Southbound was at the old joint.
Oh no, that was here.
Was it?
Yep. Because I think we had Blinks on.
I mean, it's most like ABC's of Death. I think that's the easiest comparison because there's so fucking many, even though there's less. But
yeah. So we'll check it out. It is available on VOD. I think it came out on May 22nd, so a couple weeks ago. If you guys want to play along at home, A Taste of Phobia. All right. Well, we're gonna head to break in just a moment. When we come back, we're going to we'll just kind of shoot the shit, wrap things up. I think some people had sent. We have a few voicemails to get to, and whatever else comes up. So,
wait, can I do it?
Oh yeah. Aries, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're back in 2 and 2.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
This is Chocolate Beast. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio. But you should be eating nougat.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it. The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories with your hosts John,
Josh,
and Luke. We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
We're back at Trick or Treat Radio. That was more like 3 and 2, Aries. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. So we just talked about Cold Hell. It's 2 weeks in a row we've had a movie with cold in the title. I guess next week we'll break the streak. Unless there's other movies with cold in the title.
And a bad feeling.
We could do Stone Cold.
With what was his name?
I forget his name. Was it Bos? Yeah. No. Bosworth?
Brian Bosworth.
Brian Bosworth. Yeah. The Boz.
I had a bad feeling, I'll be honest.
A bad feeling about what?
About next week.
Why?
I don't know. I just do.
You never know with anthologies. If even if one sucks, the next one could be good. So, I mean, I don't think we've ever seen an anthology that was good all the way through, like without some that weren't that great. So
I don't think that there
I'm
was
always
anything.
prepared for a couple that are not going to be great.
I could be misremembering one, but I don't think there was anything bad in ABC's of Death 2. Not ABC's of Death 2, VHS 2.
Yeah, no, I agree. There wasn't any that I didn't like, but there was some that I liked a lot less than others. Obviously, I mean, when you have the
The Adam Wingard one wasn't awesome. But it
no,
wasn't bad.
neither was that the one with the biker and the zombie? Was that?
Yeah,
in
that was the dude.
That one
made
was okay.
Blair Witch.
Yeah, it was okay. But obviously, the last two were just fucking head and shoulders better than the others. So, but that's kind of unfair.
Right.
What's the Gareth Evans one?
It was Safe Haven.
Safe Haven, that's it. And then the Alien one that Jason Eisner did. Those are both amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, both amazing. So
They seem like, if you remember the Eisner one especially, like it seems like a whole movie. Like
yeah, it really does.
Like,
There's some other movies coming up. I did a bunch of work today of like kind of planning out the summer a little bit, and there's some movies I'm really looking forward to checking out. So
yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like I feel like I might have come off too negative. And most of the time, I'm just glad when something we watch for the show doesn't make me angry. So that was like a victory. But like I feel like it's been a while since I was fucking mad, and that's kind of what I'm worried about next week. Like exploitation always, and they've never done it. They're due. Like they always have the potential to like.
Yeah,
I guess Horsehead was the last time that they really made me mad.
I like that movie though. I know you didn't care for it, but
I hated it.
I didn't think you hated it. I thought you just were annoyed by parts of it. I didn't think
like
you hated it.
That was the only movie of theirs I think that we've reviewed that I didn't like. I could be wrong about that.
You might be right. Yeah, I mean we've had a pretty good track record with Artsploitation. I mean, with Adur Samurai being the the standout, I would say. But aside from that, I don't think they've had any others that we've generally hated. So yeah, but there's a couple others I'm really looking forward to. One I'll just mention. I usually like to kind of keep it close to the vest, but in a couple weeks we're going to be reviewing The Endless, which is the new film from Justin Benson, and holy shit,
Isn't that a sequel to another movie they made? Even though you don't need to have seen the other movie.
No, it's not a sequel. It is. It supposedly shares a world with Spring, and with Resolution. Was that the other one they did?
Because I thought Resolution was about the cult.
That I don't know. I still haven't seen Resolution. Maybe I should watch it then before. But it was Aaron Moorhead was the other director. So Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. So we're going to be doing. Actually, it looks like Lou Temple is in that, who was in a movie that.
Yeah,
he was in Feral. So yeah, really looking forward to The Endless. It's actually playing in select theaters right now, and it will be coming out on VOD soon. So.
Resolution is also on Shudder, so if you guys want
cool.
catch up and play along.
Yeah.
So is Spring, I think, actually, too.
Yeah, I might do, in preparation, I might do a rewatch.
As an aside, most of Between Tubi.
Oh, speaking of, actually, sorry to interrupt, Mars, but they also did VHS Viral. They did the segment Bone Storm. Do you remember that one?
That was the, I think that was the skateboard one, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think that's the one I like the best, actually. Was it? No,
I don't know if they did it, but I like that one.
Yeah, they did Bone Storm, so I think that was the one with the skateboards.
The between Tubi and Amazon Prime, at very least, all the movies that we reviewed are on, and actually some of them are on Netflix too. So if you do a little social media digging, you can see all the exploitation stuff that we did. I've bookmarked it in a couple of places. I think Der Samurai is in all three options actually. So, but definitely on Tubi,
Nice.
Prime, and a little bit of Netflix, and Cub.
What did you say? What, Tubi Prime?
Tubi and Prime.
What's Tubi?
Oh man, I know I've talked about Tubi on the show before.
Oh! I'm sorry. I thought you were saying like the number two.
Or
I think
T-O-B.
I think it's Tubi.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I was just thinking
okay.
Tubi.
Yeah, it's my favorite app right now because
Is it legit? Like,
yeah, man.
Okay.
The commercials and the commercials, like, I don't know, the commercials are. It's set up that the commercials are local, which I don't know how they do that, but
that's pretty easy.
But I mean, I see a lot of commercials with Ted's other joint, but they again, you're seeing like commercials that interrupt your movie twice. But that's the same thing that happens on fucking Hulu, and you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Tubi as of right now is free, and I've watched like all the kickboxer films. I've watched.
It's TUBIE, right? If
I
I'm
think
not
it's
mistaken.
TUBI, but I could be wrong about that.
Okay, I'll look it up.
But I'm in the middle of watching Scream.
TUBI, yep.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of watching Scream, Blackula Scream. Like
Scream, Blackula Scream.
Like it's just it's a very nice sweet spot if you have Netflix and you have Amazon Prime. Like it's kind of in between there.
Hit some of those blind spots.
Yeah, like there's like a lot of stuff that like I wanted to see that I read about in like Rue Morgue and even back when there still was like Fango going, that like I'm excited that I am able to like finally check out. And so there's a bunch of like Patsy would be excited. There's a bunch of like Asylum, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Asylum, yeah.
Oh, I think I got signed out, so I can't look at my.
It's all right.
But like just the horror stuff that's on there right now is The Ruins, P2, Lords of Salem, apparently all the Paranormal Activity, Hatchet, See No Evil. So I mean, this
Let's get a mix.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty Creep, the British version of Creep, which I
think that was that on Shudder? I saw it on some other service.
I was on Shudder. I don't know if it still is. His other movie, Severance. Chris, what's that director's name? Chris, it's the guy that made Severance and
Smith, is it?
Yep, Christopher Smith, and he made some movie we reviewed on the show not too long ago.
Yeah, it was one you didn't like, and I think that we liked.
Oh, the one about the
driver,
the murder and stuff, right?
Oh man, I can't. Detour.
Yep. But it's cool, and it's got a bunch of old TV on there, which is not any different than other streets.
Detour. That's right. It starred Ty Sheridan, who now is a huge fucking star because he was in Ready Player One.
Huh.
But yeah, Christopher Smith's the dude. He did. He also did Black Death, right?
Yep, he sure did.
Yep, Severance, Black Death. Okay, yeah.
But I mean,
Triangle. Yeah,
it's worth it because there is a station, and I don't know if it's as much stuff that you can get as an Amazon Prime station for only like $3, but it's on Tubi and it's all the same stuff. It's called Impact, and it's a action station, I think, out of Australia. Again, we don't Tubi doesn't give us any money, so I'm not recommending it for that reason, but I love it. I mean, Bronson, Alienator, Project A, Umbach, there's like a whole martial arts like section, and
cool.
Just it's
in it. You said it's free, right? It's
totally free.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll download that on the Apple TV if it's available on the Apple TV. Well, let's get to first time Mike said, just to follow up, he leaves a review, so he may even say this in his review that he left for us, but he says, she was a brutal fighter and she was fun to watch. It kept my interest for 90 minutes, so that's a victory. And then he said, didn't you guys do Michael Neal's movie? We actually never did a review of Drive-In Horror Show. I think we just talked about it a bunch. But that is a very good horror anthology, so... I know, Aries, you're a big fan of the book, right?
I am, yes.
You should check out the movie sometime. I think you dig it if you like that book. It's just called Drive-In Horror Show. I think it was on Amazon Prime last I knew, so I don't know if you have Prime or not. But
I do have Prime. I'll look see if it's there.
Yeah, if you're ever looking for something, you have some time. All right, so Raven Shadow, you had your Dreamcast for Trick or Treat Radio.
I do.
So why don't you run down yours first?
All right, I might need some help with some names, so maybe you can help me while I'm giving the description.
What?
Just fucking help me, Johnny. Just help me. Do your little producer buttons.
My producer buttons.
Yeah, on the
make you sound good button. It doesn't exist.
Yeah. No, so I was thinking about. I'm picturing like HBO Films would do this. So I might get some cast. Maybe the ages might not be in sync, but. I think it's pretty close.
All right.
So as Johnny Wolfenstein, What's his name? His name is Kit.
Kit Harington?
Yeah, Jon Snow.
All right, I'll take that.
Jon Snow
All right.
as
He's a handsome dude.
Producer Wolfie. There's been some obvious ones that been named for your boy, but I'm gonna go a little bit off the obvious, I guess. I'm gonna go with what's his face? Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
All right.
For your boy Raven Shadow. If I was
I think
clean-shaven.
he's
Okay, yeah, I was.
I think he's too good of an actor.
But he's still. I can act really good. I act, all the time. All right, so it's Jon Snow and Kylo Ren.
And Kylo Ren, yeah. Okay.
For Ares,
Brad Pitt is the name.
Brad
Brad Pitt from what was that? Legends of the Fall? Is that the movie?
Oh,
one of his first movies with
yeah.
long flowing
Flowing
hair.
hair, yes.
Yeah.
And like 12 Monkeys. Actually, you had Brad Pitt hair for a while.
You did,
I
yeah.
did. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that.
The chicks love my hair.
I know, I remember.
and then it all disappeared.
Do they prefer the beard?
No, they love the hair. Women hate the beard. They love the hair.
Your old beard. You had a nice old beard.
You had a nice old beard.
No, when you were young, you had your older beard.
They still hated it.
No, I won't. You can put it in your mouth. That one you can put in fucking your eyes.
I do. I can poke my eyes out with my beard
That's
right
sexy.
now.
So there's an actor on the show Parks and Recreation, I think.
Yep.
Oh God.
And
Jesus,
now
Chris Pratt?
motherfucker.
Not Chris
No.
Pratt, but now he does that
Oh,
commercial
Ron
where he
Swanson?
finds the glue.
The guy who plays Ron Swanson?
Yeah. He finds the glue and not that guy.
Oh, you're not talking about Nick Offerman?
I don't know. He's on.
Nick Offerman. That's who I was thinking
He
of.
did a guest star on Will and Grace recently.
That might be Nick. He's married to one of the people on there.
Yeah, that one. But he's kind of got. You gotta have a picture there of him.
I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Well, you
That's
know what's
pretty
funny
good.
is
That's
that
pretty good.
I've been accused of.
Yeah, people have said that about you before.
Yeah, that
Really?
that I like act like him. Like we have the same mannerisms and opinions on things.
So pretty good, right? 3 for 3 so far.
That's pretty good.
All right, for Monster Zero now. I'm gonna skew a little
He's
bit
not
older,
here, so you can go a little crazy.
but I'm gonna do Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. All right.
Really?
Because-
He's a little too handsome, though.
What, Ron Perlman?
Perlman,
or-
yeah. Perlman's a little handsome for
Well, I kind of want to see Ron Perlman like talking about Grimlock action figures and Golden Girls.
Grimcock.
I can kind of see that. So that's pretty good, right? And then for Dynamo.
Oh.
Then for Dynamo. What would I pick for Dynamo?
Uh-oh.
Not the obvious. I'm not going to say anything mean. But I kind of think, especially for the high pitchness.
I could see Ron Perlman, actually.
Right,
Oh, my
right?
God, yeah, I
That's
could
pretty
see
fucking good. I thought I listened to Bath the other day.
You thought about it in the bath?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Wait, the bath or the bathroom?
No matter where it was, there was a bath in there. I was in my bathing suit, and I just was having a good time.
You were in a bathing suit in the bath.
Yeah, just kind of just chilling, just cut out,
Just chilling. Was Ollie in there with
Yeah,
you?
I put him down.
You gave him a bath?
Nah,
Did he have his swimsuit on as well?
he did. My mom got him a fucking Red Sox onesies. When's he gonna fucking wear that?
Do you give Ollie a bath? Or do
Uh,
you take him to get him bathed?
I have before, but I need to have at least another set of hands, just to kind of contain.
What?
No,
You need
because
four hands?
Yeah, because he's juking and jiving and stuff like that. But I do rinse him off in the sink. I don't want to get into it. But then for Dynamo, I'm thinking about the high pitched, and some of the crazy rants he did most recently.
I can't do that anymore. You know what? That last week's rant wasn't crazy.
No, that wasn't crazy. But you little emotion. The emotionality was flowing.
You talking about the Howard the Human?
Howard the Human one,
Okay.
and just some of the antics. So I'm gonna go with Charlie Day.
I hate that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
From Always Sunny?
Yeah. Give him
That's
a
the
beard.
worst. That's the worst of the
Really?
five. Yeah.
It wasn't like a dig, but I think.
No, I don't think it's a dig. I just don't.
I mean, I can understand the rant aspect of it, but
He's very
visually,
small.
yeah, he's like a third your size.
Yeah.
He'd bulk up for the role.
Bulk up.
But now in that coat, put some the goggles on
scarf.
him. Put a scarf. Come on, I'm fucking brilliant.
Some weight to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at fucking Chris Evans bulked up. We'll CGI him. HBO's got a budget. But no, I think put the goggles on him. Give him a boa. Give him
It's not a boa. It's a scarf. You
give
idiot.
him a fucking scarf and a boa.
But he was raised in Rhode Island, by the way.
See?
Charlie
It's
Day.
practically...
all day. Charlie Day all day.
That's practically Grafton, Massachusetts.
Practically. That's
Seamus
Mars.
said-
Mars, as he'll say, grew up in God's country.
What, Jerusalem?
Shrewsbury.
No. But I think that would be a nice cast. Oh, and Tom Hiddleston will be the voice of Tiny White.
The voice of Tiny White.
Loki.
Oh.
He's handsome.
Yeah, well.
Okay. All
Pretty
right.
fucking good, right?
You were. There were more good choices than bad.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Yeah. I'll
4
go
out of
with that.
5?
Yeah.
Including
I don't-
Tiny?
I don't agree with the Charlie Day.
I'm not including that. That would make it 6. And
All right.
wouldn't it- okay.
Oh, you mad at your choice?
No.
Oh.
You only miss was him, Dynamo.
Well, I thought I was being nice. I think Charlie Day could play the pot. I think he gets something to sink his teeth in. I think he could drink a lot of Diet Dr. Pepper.
You keep on coming back to this image. I want to hear about this image.
Well, I know who I am.
All right, so this is.
I'm a little curious.
This is Creepy Girl posted a picture of the 5 on Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
I'm hopeful, but I'm feeling I'm gonna be disappointed.
I think I know who fucking
well,
Monster Zero is.
Let me just say,
Monster Zero's to the left.
Aries,
I bet.
let me just say that I'm pissed with mine. So,
Okay, so now I'm cautiously optimistic that.
so MZ, as played by Jeremy Sisto.
Yep, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Really?
Yeah.
That is the worst casting.
Say in the mic. Say in the
That
mic.
is the worst casting that I've ever seen of anybody ever.
Have you looked at this block of 5 images?
Well, I know she can be worse going forward, but so far.
And then we have, of course, as Michael Ravenshadow, playing Michael Ravenshadow, Al Pacino.
As Serpico.
As Serpico, yes. I think he can grow the beard. He's just got the mustache there. I think he can do
He
the
has
beard.
a beard later on in that film. I just watched it again the other day. It's fucking excellent. But no, when I was growing my hair long again, definitely trying to go for a Serpico vibe.
And as Aries,
Oh
Wow.
no! Oh no!
Wow.
Really? Oh,
Wow.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah!
Mars, what do you think of that?
Get your ticket to Florida, Aries.
Oh God! I love you. Thank you.
And that's genuine love right there. I haven't.
He doesn't just say that.
Yeah, no.
So Jason Momoa will be playing Aries.
Wowzers. I know who
I think,
Johnny is.
honestly, I think he's got more personality. No offense. I think he's got more feelings than you.
No,
He has tons more feelings than he does.
Yeah, he's got 2. I only have 1. so-
Exactly. He is more. It's double the feelings. And as Dynamo Mars, Bruce Willis.
Wow.
What do you think of that, Mars?
I think that there's 4 of me. I think I'm 4 Bruce Willises.
No, you're not.
I thought I was going to be Jack Black. That makes more sense.
I don't look like Bruce Willis. I don't look like Jack Black either. Jesus Christ.
I would have done Mars more Jack Black, but you're definitely not
am I
Bruce
that?
Willis.
Am I that unattractive and big?
Dude, Jack Black's Jables is a pretty handsome guy.
I think
And as Johnny Wolfenstein, Jack Black.
that's really
Trick or Treat Radio.
that's really all around bad casting.
No, that's.
You like yours.
I like mine.
Yeah. Aries likes his.
I love mine.
You did a really good job, creepy girl. Thank you for participating.
Your check's in the mail. Thank you very much.
Aries, we're going to Florida.
Can't believe fucking Jack Black.
See, I did. You have fucking Jon Snow in my casting.
I like yours. Everything okay there, Mars?
Yeah, I'm working on my casting.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure there's not I know there's some stuff.
Times me fucking Ryan Gosling.
There's such an obvious one for Tiny because he's only a voice, and Tiny actually sounds like somebody, and nobody's hit it yet.
Well, we've only had 1 casting of Tiny, so.
That's fair.
Is it Jarvis from the Avengers?
Paul Bettany, Vision.
Hello, Dynamo.
All right, so thank you, Creepy Girl.
Thank you, creepy girl.
And I guess we'll play a voicemail next. And I believe I don't know if this is a casting, but let's hear from our boy Evil Corny.
Hey guys, this is Evil Corny. This is my dream cast for Trick or Treat Radio if it was a movie being made. Marge would be played by Paul Giamatti. Aries would be played by Anthony Hopkins, but Anthony Hopkins would be dressed and acting like Odin from Thor movies.
All right.
Okay, for Raven Shadow, I have John Turturro.
Yeah!
MZ. I'll have Vincent D'Onofrio.
All right.
From Wolfenstein, I have Viggo Mortensen.
All right.
And also, I want to tell
I'll take that.
MZ and Wolfie happy birthday.
Yes.
Y'all have a good one. Evil Corny out.
Thank you, Corny. Thanks, buddy. I like that. I'll take Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo fucking Mortensen.
I'll take that over Jack Black any day. Speaking of corny, there is a package somewhere in that
stop behind me. Yeah.
general vicinity. Would you mind, Raven Shadow or Aries, would one of you do the honors of opening it? So it's for me and MZ, but MZ's not here. So
I'll take it.
Are you guys going to duel first? You just you both pulled out your knives.
Son, put that away before you get hurt.
Listen. At least mine's got an edge. This is pretty good. Oh.
He said they're not wrapped, so I'll try not to reveal MZ's, just so it'll be a surprise when he's here.
Yes, we are.
Although he'll never watch this, so we can probably just show it.
So can Aries and I keep it?
No.
Why?
Can I have it, Aries, so I can open it?
Right, we are 15 minutes away from.
Sorry, I got excited.
Are you at attention?
From Monster Zero's birthday.
We are 15 minutes away from MZ's birthday.
I almost brought cake because I have tons of cake at my house, but I realized he wasn't here, and he's the only one that would eat cake.
Peanut butter cups.
All right, so I'm guessing this is probably mine. Oh, shit.
What a nice man.
I got a Star Wars 3D character mug.
That's awesome, dude.
Darth Vader.
Nice.
He got me Boba Fett last year.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm guessing that this is mine. This is awesome, Corny. Thanks, man.
You can put your protein shake in that.
No, I'll have my morning juice.
Ooh.
You guys want to see what MZ got?
Yeah.
He's not going to watch the video, so. Or listen to this. He won't even listen to this. This is a Creepy Cup. Hidden creepers in your cup. I think he got a Cthulhu.
The name is very appropriate for him.
I know, right? Here you can pass it around.
It would be. If
that's fun.
If
There's
it
a
was
spider,
him,
there's a skull.
it should be Creepy B Cup.
No, he's a C cup at least.
All right, I got mine. Mine's
Awesome,
done.
Corny.
Hidden creeper at the bottom of your cup. The more you drink your coffee, the more it stares you down. The
Corny,
first one to blink loses.
Jesus Christ! Every time you read, you get that accent.
Yeah, it's
Creepy
weird.
cups are made of high fire ceramics. They are dishwasher safe and microwavable.
You're doing that fucking voice again.
The best. Oh,
It's not that fascinating for people to hear you read. Go
Well,
ahead.
very-
What's
very
your,
exciting.
what's
Thank you,
your
Corny.
casting?
You just want to hear yourself talk when you listen back to this.
All right, who should I go first?
Well, fair.
1 sec, Mars. Corny, you are too kind, man, and I really appreciate that. So
Yes, Corny. Thank you for everybody.
Thank you very much. You don't have to, but you continue to be an amazing dude. So thanks, man. All right, Mars.
Hold on. Now I went away. I was going to promote something I did with Corny, but I'll wait. I'll wait till the end.
Okay, and
but now I have my cast.
Oh,
list.
okay.
There's a
got it.
creepy cup.
First up, I'll just go around the room. So he's not here. But for Monster Zero, I actually did put Jack Black.
Wow.
Because can't you imagine like Jack Black like turning around and just out of the blue yelling, just yelling at somebody to shut up or put something in their cock holster or
Okay, shave his head.
like be baffled. Well, Monster Zero has like a
tuft.
full head of hair.
Yeah.
For Aries,
Be nice. I'm in striking distance of you.
Jeff Bridges.
Wow.
All right.
What?
I could see as the dude, maybe if he, like grew that beard
Have you
a
seen
little
Jeff
bit more.
Bridges recently?
Or like Cockburn from fucking
from
the remake of
yeah.
Like this Jeff Bridges?
Yes.
Little
Or show him
But that's a
Silver
little more-
Fox.
Obadiah Stane.
What?
I'm not that bald, motherfucker.
No, it's short hair.
Oh, right there.
Oh wait, there was. Oh crap! There was one that really.
I think the one right there, the dude, but then up in the top right.
No, there was one where he had a giant beard.
This one?
No, there, right there.
There
That
you
one?
go.
Yeah.
Is that what he looks like
Yeah,
now?
I
Wow, okay.
can't.
He don't give a fuck.
Nah, he don't give a fuck.
Yeah. He's got better hair than
Good
me,
for him.
but
Because I don't dwell on something that happened a long time ago and try to make a joke about it.
Jesus Christ.
Because for Michael Ravenshadow, Adrian Brody.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
handsome one.
All right, there you go.
What do you think of that ring?
He'd have to wear a bad wig, but.
Wait, he has to wear what do you mean?
Yeah, Adrian Brody has short hair.
We can grow it out. It's called acting.
For Johnny Wolfenstein.
Uh-huh.
Now I understand that this person is no longer with us, but he's got nice flowing hair.
So I'm dead. Great.
Peter Steele.
And a nice smile. But Heath Ledger.
All right.
I don't see that at all.
I'm not from Australia.
Got a nice Joker.
Not blonde either.
And for myself,
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Michael Myers.
The killer, right?
No, the comedian.
The comedian?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Because you do a really good Austin Powers impersonation.
Yeah, Bobby. Do I make horny, Bobby?
What does he look like now?
Like me, except with hair.
Well, and to be fair, Michael Myers and Halloween comes up. I mean, what are the odds? But dude, Michael Myers.
Well, is it Mike Myers? Is that what people know him as?
yeah.
Oh yeah, Mike Myers.
That's what I should have said too.
Like that?
No, that's from what is it, Glorious Bastards. That's what he's doing that press thing.
Is he right there? Vern Troy. Oh.
I don't know.
Dr. Evil?
Oh, wait, is this him?
Oh, that's his Gong Show personality.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I can see that.
That's it.
All right. Well, there you go. There's
I was just looking for
Mars's-
somebody fat and old. That was kind of my
Somebody fat and
criteria.
old.
He had your haircut in the early 90s. I think mine's the best casting.
No, because yours of mine was bad.
Who'd you pick for him again?
Charlie Day.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think you should go
terrible.
back to the drawing board.
He's
on
like
that one.
dwelling on like one thing that I can't even
like,
do anymore.
He's
He's like dwelling on one bit from like a.
He
like
did
a
it
lot-
like 3 times in the course of like
And-
307 episodes.
And you actually do the high pitched thing more than he does.
Yeah, you do.
You
Yeah.
just did it.
Yeah, you just did it.
Well,
literally.
you know what? I think so. I think he'd pull off some range. Who would have thought Michael Keaton could be the Batman? Huh?
Not me. I still think it's fucking terrible.
So Creepy Girl says Jack Black is one of the coolest guys I know, and he's been a wrestler. He's very handsome, has a great sense of humor, and a great voice.
Hi, Jack Paul.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
But you're in really good shape and not fat.
Well, I'm getting there.
And you have really long hair too, which Jack Black doesn't have.
I think he used to have
He used to have long
longish hair.
Yeah.
And she says, and Jeremy's sister was the love of my life. Oh, I
Jesus fucking
see.
Christ.
I see.
Get out of fucking Maine, Monster Zero, and go to
And-
Florida, you dumb
Yeah, I know, right?
dummy.
But that's bad casting, like all around.
And Bruce Willis is another cool cat with a scratchy voice and mysterious.
No, I have a high voice that one time. Remember? That casting was bad. Like
It
you
wasn't
just-
bad.
You put no work into that at all.
Yes, I did. I thought you were like a being. Fine, Sid Haig.
All right. All right.
All right.
That's better.
I like that better.
Yeah, it's better.
All right. Let me set the scene. Imagine if that guy didn't have hair, weighed 70 pounds more, and did that thing that you did in one episode.
Well, you did pick someone dead for me.
Yeah, but handsome. He's probably still more handsome than you dead.
Yeah, you can't pick dead people.
Well, we didn't specify, so it's fine.
All right, well, we could probably get him.
It wasn't dream casting, so
You
And
know
they
who?
picked
You
Al
know who's
Pacino
gonna,
for you. You'd be old and shriveled.
you know who's
Well,
gonna play
I'm getting
Ares? Jesus Christ.
Yes.
He had a good beard.
Jesus isn't dead. Jesus is everybody.
He's
Jesus is
inside
everything.
all of our hearts.
Yeah, that's how
Jesus is the answer.
Yeah.
All right. I'm redoing.
What's the question?
I'm redoing my casting then. Michael Ravenshadow. I'm
Joey
gonna go back to
Ramone.
him. No.
All right. While you redo your casting, let's hear from Humble Eddie.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, Humble Eddie here, and I have comprised my cast for the Trick or Treat Radio movie. So here goes. For the part of Johnny Wolfenstein, I cast Macon Blair from Blue Ruin in Green Room. I think he
That's
grew his
fair.
hair out and, I don't know, maybe put some bass in his voice. He could do Johnny justice. For the part of Ares, I cast Tommy Tiny Lister Jr., a.k.a. Debo from Friday, because that's basically his role on the show anyway.
Apparently I got a
I don't want to
tan.
entirely whitewash the cast. Next,
Pause
for the
it
part
for a
of
minute,
Monster
pause it.
Zero,
Pause. Let's just soak that in.
You want to whitewash the cast?
So I get to be the token? What the?
Tiny Lister. Although you do get to be Zeus. That's
yeah.
kind of
Oh
cool.
no. I mean, it is.
And the president in
Fifth Element. Yeah.
Fucking Debo.
Oh shit.
You got knocked the fuck out.
That was fucking awesome.
Wow, outside the box.
He doesn't want to whitewash the cast. I wonder if there's going to be a gender swap then. All right, well, let's continue.
I cast Devin Rattray,
That's Ramsey.
also from Blue Ruin, but he's probably best known for his role as Buzz McAllister, Macaulay Culkin's older brother in Home Alone.
Okay.
For the part of Raven Shadow,
Yes.
Yeah.
I cast the hitchhiker from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the
See, that's a
1974
good
original.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Raven
yeah.
Shadow will, of course, have to dub in his own voice because no amount of acting in the world could replicate the amount of damage that beautiful voice suffered through smoke inhalation.
Wait,
And finally, for the part of Dynamo Mars, I cast, this one's a little bit of a deeper cut, Alfonso de Noble. Now, that is Alfonso de Noble. He was in Bloodsucking Freaks, but he's best known for being the creepy pedophile tenant in Alice, Sweet Alice, the 1976
That's
slasher
real mean.
film.
That guy's very fat.
So if you've seen the film, you probably know who I'm talking about. But if not, I'd give him a quick Google search because it's definitely worth it.
That guy's very
So
fat.
that's my cast. I hope y'all don't hate me, particularly Dynamo. Talk to you later, Trick or Treat Radio.
Can we Google that?
Who would that gentleman be?
I don't have a visual
He's
for that
very
one.
fat, like housebound fat.
But Charlie Day's a bad fucking.
Yeah, Charlie Day ain't looking so bad, is he?
What? Shit. What was? I forgot the name you said.
Alfonso Don'ts, I think.
Alfonso Mosley, FBI.
From what movie?
Alice, Sweet Alice.
Alice, Sweet Alice. Yeah. Okay.
Very scary movie. That's the
That's
meanest
on Shudder
one.
too, actually.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
the meanest one yet.
Wow. How about that?
Alfonso de Noble. Okay, so let me. Alfonso de Noble. Oh, actually,
Right there.
that's not terrible.
No.
That guy's
picture.
really fat. Though.
That
Okay.
That
Well, just that picture alone.
That's from Bloodsucking Freaks.
That's good.
there we go. You've had that look before.
Golden Corral.
Usually,
Wow.
no, it's usually after he comes out of the bathroom.
Well, crop dusted somebody.
He is pretty big, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's not you.
That's not you. He's got the bald head and the goatee. That.
I think Sid Haig's not bad. He's just really tall.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Humble Eddie.
You even had that kind of scratchy voice like Charlie Day.
Raven Chow, do you know
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
the
yeah,
Hitchhiker?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to pull him up just in case. See?
Oh yeah. Okay. I have a little more beard.
Well,
Well, he could grow
He's
a beard to
acting.
play you.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. All right.
that's him now. I think he's got a beard.
Oh, there you go.
That's probably me in a couple of years if I'm still.
It looks like if you and Aries had a baby.
That's true.
Once you stop dyeing your beard,
I don't dye my beard.
You know, he plucks it.
I plucked yeah.
Soon there's going to be nothing left.
You shave? Not really.
Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you, Humble Eddie.
Thank you, Humble Eddie.
Let's check the chat room here. First time Mike says, "Okay, I'm laughing now." And then Creepy Girl says, "Bruce Willis has sounded good now, huh, Mars?" All right, we got a voicemail from First Time Mike. I think he's going to talk about Cold Hell.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is First Time Mike. How's everybody doing?
Good, buddy.
This is my review of Cold Hell. I watched it on Shudder this afternoon, and I'll come right out and say it. I really enjoyed the movie, and it's more than I thought I would, because somebody witnesses a murder and being stalked by the killer is not totally a genre of movie that I watch a lot anymore. But I found this movie really interesting because of the characters. I thought the lady that played Ozgi, or Ozga, or the person that the lady that sees the murder, she is a badass lady, but they don't make her coquettish or anything. She's a hardworking lady, a Turkish immigrant to Austria or Germany, and she is a great character follow for her, because she's not, and she goes against type for this type of movie. She's not a helpless victim. She's straight up messing people up in this movie, but she's also realistically drawn, and her history we find not through lots of talking and exposition, but from a little words here or a little scene there that goes in, that has much more of her past than just any information dump somebody talking did. And I thought that was really good, because in the quiet parts of the movie, I really cared about what happened to her and her niece. And I found that the Inspector Steiner, who comes off at first as your typical, racist cop, has a lot of layers underneath there that makes him a complex character as well. And the relationship between them in a movie is probably the most realistic type of relationship I've seen in a movie like that, because pardon me, it builds. This isn't like a thrown together thing. It's two people cut off willingly and unwillingly from all other people around them for different reasons, start coming together in this like horrific situation. I thought the killer was well done. His motives were interesting, and kind of there's a little tie into like the Baskin in a way. It's it has something to do with Islamic theology, which I'm not going to give away here. I don't know what the guys will be talking about, but it's interesting, and the characters make it interesting in the quiet middle. So violence in the beginning, violence at the end. The middle is kind of quiet, but you're always at the edge waiting for something to happen, and that makes that part interesting, and you get invested in the characters. So when shit does go down, you're all for it, and you're caring about the characters, which is an achievement in itself with a movie like this. Mm-hmm. Cold Hell, I give it a treat. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend you see it. As for the question I saw about casting, I can't really think of anything, but I have a separate question, similar one. They do an action figure of yourself. What kind of accessories do you have?
Oh.
For the First Time Mike action figure, it has me and my time-traveling 1978 Oldsmobile Omega called the Blue Meanie, which is probably rust color, but it's my time-traveling as well. That's how come I am First Time Mike. I am a time traveler. I can't tell you about the future. I'll tell you later. This is First Time Mike from the future saying goodbye. Bye.
Thanks, First Time Mike, and glad you dug the flick, man. I agree with a lot of what you had to say about it. As for his question, I know Raven Shadows fucking thought about this one. Oh, yeah. What accessories would you have if you were an action figure?
Lots.
Pack of butts.
Yeah, I mean,
Stimmy Dad.
Pack of butts, sunglasses.
Would they change when you're in light or darkness?
No, I'd have two pairs.
Oh, you had two pairs.
I'd have my regular, my progressives, and I'd have my sunglasses. Yeah. I don't want light to tell me when I'm wearing my sunglasses.
I
like wearing them in the dark sometimes. A couple of nips.
Couple of nips.
Yeah, a bag full of nips like the old me. Probably half rack.
Half rack of ribs?
Half rack, like Sam Adams. Half rack.
Zima.
Well, why not a 30-pack of Rolling Rock while we're at it?
Well, you get the special order that you cut out the proof of purchase, and then you can get that. But yeah, no, I like half rack. Leather coat. Sorry, Johnny.
No, I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm just not going to wear it.
You know, might have a couple of tie variants.
Couple tie variants, like
Yeah.
tie fighters.
No, like ties. I mean, that's classy.
You don't wear ties.
I do.
When?
Before.
Before.
I wear them again. I wore them a while. Crypto
All right.
cast, a lot of ties.
Okay. Yep.
And I come with Oliver.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the best accessory.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Can you put a smoke in your mouth, or is it just you just come with a pack?
I feel.
Or is the cigarette
interchangeable hand with a cigarette?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, different hands.
Why would you ever take the hand off?
Well, I might have show some metal.
You've thought about this. Actually.
I'm the only fucking one here who's thought about this.
Yes.
Yes.
I think you are.
I have an action figure.
That's true. Yeah.
It's true. You do actually. Yeah.
We gotta do that at Rock and Shock when they do it again. They have those. You get those little 3D things. You go in the booth and they photo you. They photograph you.
I have no idea what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like 3D printers.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. We'll go in there together.
Together. Oh.
Be nice.
All right, Aries. Do you know what accessories you'd want?
I think it'd probably be a motorcycle, chainsaw, and a bottle of whiskey.
You're talking about like a whole nother play pack here with the motorcycle.
Oh, it's a bonus pack.
Yeah, you have.
But they have been action figures that have been sold with motorcycles.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
yeah, no. Ghost Rider came with one. Is Marvel Legends.
Ghost Rider.
I got a whole
Logan.
shelf of Action Fire Ghost Riders.
Yeah.
I think I would come with whiskey, Ativan, Percocets.
Ooh.
Trying to think what else I had for breakfast today. And I don't know, razor blades.
Razor blades.
Yeah.
Like shave your beard?
No, so I can finally end this terrible existence I have on the show.
Existence.
I was just thinking that.
I'm even fucking getting made fun of my own movie.
Man, what accessories? I guess I'd come with a microphone, right? I'd have to come with a microphone.
You'd have to come with a microphone, yeah.
Yeah. So I come with a microphone. I come with Ozzy.
Yeah,
Got a
Ozzy. Yeah.
Little figure of Ozzy. Also, since I'm working out a lot, I'll come with since you guys all had cool accessories, I'll come with a dumbbell. Maybe that's better than like a whole barbell, you know.
Well, maybe some of those Velcro weights you put on your ankles and wrists.
No. I'll just come with a big barbell.
Maybe a smoothie.
Smoothie. you get a smooth. Let's see. What else? What other cool accessories? A mute button for all you fucks. just a big button that says mute.
And then I think you would also come with the Trick or Treat Radio playset. So you'd
That's
be the
true.
One.
You're right. You're right.
So you'd
It'll
be
come
like
with the studio.
Yeah, so you get like the Johnny figure, and you'd be a variant, you know. But you would
Yeah.
also come with the studio.
So it come
set.
with like the mics, the monitors.
No, I think each one of us would come with a different piece of the studio.
Yeah. We don't, and then you
build
buy
the
all of
studio.
us and build the studio. That's a good idea.
Okay, there you go. That's outside the box.
And then if you can do maybe one of those extra bonus things, if you can send in for it'd be super rare, you get a T-Dog action figure.
Oh, there you go.
Now what would MZ come with?
Don't even fuck
Sadness.
I feel like there'd be a lot of Monster
He would
Zeros
come
on
with
the shelf.
with a porn tape, lube.
Oh Jesus. Pasties.
A foot long from
Harp
radishes.
I definitely feel the action
and a
figure
big
would have
thing
slippers on.
and a big thing of juice.
Yeah.
And sweatpants and slippers.
Slippers. Yeah, I think that's about right.
All right, I redid my casting, but this time I did more personality-wise and looks.
Oh.
Okay.
He's going to take it out on everybody now.
Johnny Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
I said young Mark Ruffalo.
All right, I'll take
Right?
that. Yeah.
It's like got nice hair, little very, very smart and like on the like liberal, but like also very like, you know, great voice. For Aries, I was looking for somebody who like I'm actually one of the few people that I've met that I'm actually like afraid of in like kind of in a way like
I'm going to play myself, aren't I?
Tyler Mane.
That's good. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Now, for myself,
Do
this
you know who Tyler Mane is?
Yes.
Okay.
X-Men.
for myself,
Yeah.
like this person would have to shave his head, but he has a strange like sometimes he's got this gravelly voice and sometimes it's really high. But Jeffrey Combs now. If you saw him, he's gray
For
and his
who?
beard. For me.
Oh, okay.
Right? If you saw him, he's gray, his beard. He's got kind of a gravelly voice
Yeah,
sometimes, but
yeah,
he's
okay.
also like, you know, he's got the Jeffrey Combs voice that he uses in movies that is like a little more high pitch. Yeah, like that picture right there.
Like right
no,
there?
No, the one on the. No, he's old there, but he's
The
got one where he's got a
Reanimator?
beard. Yeah. I don't know where it went though. I saw it.
I'll go back.
That one. On the left.
Right here?
What are you seeing? That's a mustache.
That's a mustache, yeah.
Right,
I was
right,
looking for a
right.
beard.
Is-
All right.
You need to shave that hair a little back, but
Yeah, I can
it's
see
about
that.
where my hairline is in real life anyway.
He's a handsome guy.
Now Raven Shadow.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Here
now
we
that
go.
I'm not being nice and trying to be polite.
There we go.
I tried to think of somebody who drives me fucking nuts. Who every syllable makes me want to jump to my death. Right?
So you're playing yourself
Right.
again? Yeah.
Who says many words but they don't equal anything. Right? And also is godlike adamant at putting themselves over.
What?
Enzo
Kevin Nash.
Amore.
Oh, listen.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's
That'd be
good.
fine, except for certain allegations and things
No,
that probably
he's-
really would.
he's in the clear.
He was in the clear.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did he get his job back?
No.
No.
Is that
'Cause
that
he- 'cause he-
wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I bet
That's
he,
actually really good.
and I bet you would like his fucking hip hop record.
Listen, he stole my look. Well, gimmick. Nah, but he's
It's
not-
just the hair. Like
Yeah.
if he had, try to find a good.
You might
picture
be
of
the
him.
only person he may be the only person that you're a better worker than.
See, the hair's not going to match up, but I could
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Just the voice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this.
I'm Michael Raven Shadow.
A certified G.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. His rap song is maybe the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
I thought you said you liked it.
No, I didn't. I said there's some. Remember in the chat, I said there's something so fucking weird there that it's almost like brilliant. Like it's fucking really.
Well, that's why I thought you meant something
Yeah, yeah.
good. Okay, I misunderstood.
like I think that honestly, like.
You want to hear some of it?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So he's not in trouble anymore?
No. The police dropped the case.
He's just in
There's
trouble
no-
because
there's no
everyone in the
evidence.
locker room hates him. Like that was,
Yeah, he's just an ass.
he was gonna get fired anyway.
Well, he wanted to leave. Apparently, he wanted to actually start working on his. That sounds like you're rapping.
It's excellence, bitch, I just shit it. I feel like heat on the crazy eights. Let's see how I pivot. Ball my court, bounce back, way number 24. Shit footprint right off my image.
He's going by the name Real One.
Wow.
All I could think of though when he said is I remember that Kobayashi Maru used to do that.
Na 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 na.
Wowzers.
The worst is when he's doing the Django thing later on and dragging that fucking coffin around though for no reason.
Say the shit I mean it. Fuck you, Marks, I hate it. This for all my fans are waiting. Entertainment free.
He was talking shit about that girl. Who was talking shit about him. I kind of see the name of the title is Phoenix, which is supposedly where that girl who accused him of it lived.
Right.
But it's also like rising from the ashes. So
He stole like
Johnny, for that. Really, Johnny? Is that what it means?
it's so deep.
I've read the X-Men. I know what Phoenix is.
he stole kind of the ICP gimmick though with the rap return thing that's going on in there. For like,
That's not really that good.
By the way, this happened like 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago. But Raven J came out and is hanging out. He says, "Hey y'all."
Bambaleo.
And Raven J says, "I was going to say whiskey for Aries for his accessory."
you know, I don't drink whiskey anymore that much.
Oh, Creepy Girl says, "Don't forget Air Sharkies for Dynamo."
I have 2 different kinds of whiskey in the house, and I keep them for if Aries or Miss M are over.
Well, that's a good reason to keep them.
Yeah, so I
And
mostly drink rum now, actually.
And First Time Mike says, in regards to MZ's action figure, with a special Tuck Dance MZ with 5 proofs of purchase points and $5 shipping and handling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good thing that he
definitely.
shaved that head, though.
Wow, he's so fucking smooth.
I think Jack Black MZ would be a good Jack Black.
MZ Tuck Dance variant.
That hair he had for a while was fucking weird.
Which one?
When he had like the top knot and stuff, and like he
he
did the tuck dance with, like
that didn't work for him.
he literally looked like a guy that worked in like Texas underneath.
What?
Like he looked like just like a 70s wrestling.
Oh,
jobber.
I thought you were just talking about a random guy that works in Texas. Just some dude.
Bill from Texas.
Who are you? Oh, you're some dude.
I'm Bill.
I'm Bill from Texas.
Can I go?
Yeah, I think you can actually.
I'm literally legitimately like.
Mars, they can't hear through your eye.
I don't care. They won't be able to hear me when I'm dead. And that's what I'm working on.
All right, we just got one tweet, and I haven't checked this out much, but we got a tweet from Dark Forest Film, and it says, "Hey, the Deadites would love for you to review our horror slasher film, Dark Forest.
Okay.
Now on Blu-ray and DVD, currently streaming everywhere. Here is the latest trailer," and sent a link to it. So
sure.
And then he actually sent an email, so we were going back and forth talking about it. It's a little old. It's a few years old, but even if we don't do a review of it, maybe we could have. I know, Mars, you love watching like kind of classic throwback slashers, which I think is what this is. If you want to watch it, I think we got a screener link for it. So
okay.
If you're interested, so maybe we'll review it, but we have a lot of stuff coming up. So if not, maybe you can do like a quick hit or something like that, you know. So yeah, so if anyone out there is interested in, it looks like kind of a 80s throwback slasher kind of deal. Called Dark Forest. It looks like it's available DVD, Blu-ray, and also streaming. So if that's something that interests you, guys, go check it out. All right. Well, I think that might do it. So next week we are going to talk about Tasteophobia. Now, I'm trying to think of, is there anything you guys want to do for a second segment? Is there any kind of question, or maybe we want to mix it up and do something different? You guys have any thoughts?
You don't have any ways for our fans to insult us again? You're ready to plumb out
Hey,
ideas?
that wasn't my idea.
Come on, that was
great. Blame Pabst. Your son. Your son
right.
came up with it.
Yeah, well, he owes me child support anyway.
He owes you child support?
Yeah, I paid in and I didn't get anything back.
Yeah.
You fed? That's not the way that works. I didn't pay any child support, let's be honest.
So I don't know, if we think of something else, we'll try to post about it on social media. I don't know if haven't we already done favorite anthology films? I think we did.
Everybody said Creepshow, and if
pretty
they didn't,
much,
everybody would say Creepshow.
Pretty much, yeah. So I think we've already done that. So I don't think it's
something about fears.
What?
Something about fears.
Oh, phobias. Favorite phobias. I don't know. We'll figure it out and we'll post about it. But yeah, I guess you guys can do something about phobias, or if you check out the film, obviously send your thoughts, or just send your thoughts on any recent film that we've seen. Maybe you checked out Cold Hell.
Famous characters and their phobias.
Famous characters and their phobias.
Is that something?
That is something.
That is something, all right.
Well, like Indiana Jones, he didn't like snakes.
Yeah,
Name another one.
In the Temple of Doom, he didn't like.
You named the same one.
He didn't like snakes.
Literally, I'm gonna die.
All right, fucking.
I got a
trying.
snake man.
I got a snake man.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. But we're going to talk about a taste.
At least I tried, man.
We're going to talk about a taste of phobia from Artsploitation. It's available on VOD. Check it out, and let's say our goodbyes. Start with Aries.
Sorry, no. I want to thank everyone that sent in their film, their castings for us.
Especially
I thought that was
Jason
amazing.
Momoa.
Well, I mean, granted, I did enjoy that one, but just as a whole, I did enjoy that segment. Just
Would you
getting
be
an
happy
idea
if I
of what
hated
people
you?
would cast. What?
Would you be happy if I hated you?
What do you mean if you hated me? You hate me right now anyway.
I hate Jason Momoa.
Oh God, yeah, because he's handsome.
No, he's ugly.
Oh God. Okay. Goodbye.
Me make movement to make case dismissed.
What the fuck?
Because me frozen caveman Momoa.
I also want to thank all the folks who chimed in. It was very, very nice. Yeah, live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
Creepy Girl says best whiskey is Bullet, and says that would be good. What are you guys afraid of? Would go with the film. We can all guess your phobias. If you guys want to, we'll figure out if there's something else. We'll call it out on social media. But I don't know. Marsman.
This old week, I don't know when it's gonna hit, but I joined.
Did you say this old week?
Yeah,
this old week.
I think that's the name of the episode.
This old week. He hit one. He played knick-knack on his thumb.
This here week that just went by, I'm not sure when it's gonna hit. I can't find it if it hit now. But I joined my good buddy Cornelius and host of the Movie Massacre podcast, Corey, to talk about
Gory. Would you say Gory?
Yep, Gory special.
Yeah,
yep.
Gory special.
To talk about some fucking films, and it was one of the best podcast experiences that I've had in a long time because the format of that show is so fun. It's
And they didn't make fun of you.
No, they did. It's fine. They didn't dwell on something that happened like in 135 episodes ago.
Charlie Day.
Yeah.
You missed the
Are
point.
you kidding me?
No, listen. He has a scratchy voice.
He doesn't though.
He does. Listen, to be always naysaying. He looks like you. He could be on stage. He'd be acting. He has fucking, he can talk.
He can talk.
It's opinionated.
So yeah, look up, subscribe to the Movie Massacre podcast. It's part of From the Canopy Network. I hope I'm saying that properly. But it's a cool show because they.
Wait, sorry, Mars.
Spider.
He plays keyboard.
Deep in my soul.
That sound like you, Mars?
No.
He's lived here for years. He just won't let go.
It totally is.
He's laying around.
That guy.
He's got a mean bite. Now he's ready to fight.
I've never sang high pitched.
Stand up for what he knows.
Wow.
I totally see it.
I mean, my special lady friend is in love with him, so that sounds like.
Oh, I guess there you go.
But she doesn't like me, so that doesn't work.
Well, there's one big problem with this is that he's actually playing a keyboard and not telling someone else to play it.
Telling someone else to play it.
You say Mars is a dictator? A bad dictator?
No. He's just done a whole bunch of coke.
Spitting? Spitting at them. Is that the sign? Spit!
All right, Mars.
I don't know.
Charlie Day, I mean.
Don't send flowers. Just fucking put me out back in a rocking chair. Remember where it fuck off. Why can't someone just kill me? I asked for so little. Tried to make Aries kill me at the beginning of the show. Why can't someone just kill me? For the love of God. I asked for so little. And I give so much.
Oh my God!
Whoa!
Creepy girl says, "I can see Charlie Day. Same voice."
Thank you, creepy girl.
This is from the same person who said that Johnny looked like Jack Black, and Monster Zero looked like that person, other
Jeremy
person,
Sisto.
Jeremy Sisto.
Raven J says, "You're immortal, Mars."
Great, I know. It sucks.
All right, so well, that's gonna do it for episode 307. I don't know if we're ever gonna do anything like that again. Create a lot of infighting.
I just want. I'm not doing this for sure. If you want, Aries
We
can put
miss
a little.
MZ.
Aries can put a little fucking Muppet stick in my wrist and just keep me in the chair like fucking Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We'll do Weekend of Bernie's podcast of Bernie's.
Just fucking trick or treat.
Remember,
push me
children,
from
wherever you go, there you are.
You can make me talk high pitch like that one time.
Well, to be fair, you did twice.
At least 3 times.
It's only like 300 episodes.
All right, well, that's going to do it. Thank you to everyone who did send in their dream casting of Trick or Treat Radio. That was fun, and we probably will never do it again. But no, that was fun. So, and next week, as I said, we're going to do a taste of phobia. And for everyone that's going to listen to the podcast, we appreciate you guys. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and Satchel Podcast Player, or just check us out on trickortreatradio.com. And also, if you haven't given us a 5-star review, go ahead and do so, especially on Apple Podcasts. That's where it helps the most. But that's going to do it for episode 307. We love you guys. Shit, I played the intro instead of the outro.
That's fine.
No, it's not.
Because you're all Jack Blacked up.
There we go. Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next week for episode 308. See ya.